Chapter 18:16. Although Shin Kwangmyo was in school, he would sometimes go to the nightless club where his sister worked to look for her. Especially when his sister was on the night shift, he would often accompany his sister home at night. He also heard this rumor in the nightclub. At that time, he didn't think much of it. He thought that someone was talking nonsense and that the boss coveted his sister. So, he asked his sister afterward if such a thing was true. Although Shin Yushi hoped that the rumor was true, she didn't want to lie to her brother, so she told him that it was just a rumor. Therefore, Shin Kwangmyo was more certain that the boss coveted his sister and created rumors to harm his sister's reputation to achieve his purpose. Now, when he heard that Yang Ming was his sister's boss, Shin Kwangmyo's heart suddenly tightened. His sister's leg was now broken. In fact, this matter had nothing to do with the company at all. It was in their own building. It was already very good that the company could pay a compensation according to the standards of a work-related injury. There was no need to care about it to the end. What's more, the boss of the company personally came to pick up his sister to see a doctor. Shin Kwangmyo was very clear about how big the nightless club was. Not to mention the nightless club, there were many related companies behind the nightless club. Why would the boss of such a large enterprise group take his sister to see a doctor? If he didn't have any thoughts about his sister, why would he do these things? Did the boss have nothing to do? Are you the boss of the nightless club? Shin Kwangmyo still blocked in front of Yang Ming's car, not letting Yang Ming leave. You can say that. Yang Ming nodded. It's one of my industries. Sure enough, he was the biggest boss behind. When Shin Kwangmyo heard Yang Ming's words, he guessed it. Yang Ming's car, Song B88B88, was originally the car of the boss of the nightless club, Bao Sanli. After a few days of driving, it was driven by his bigger boss. This was not a secret now. The security guards of the nightless club knew about it, so Shin Kwangmyo naturally knew about it too. Therefore, he was able to confirm this just by looking at the car number. Why did you take my sister to see a doctor? You are the boss of a company. Don't you have anything to do every day? Even if my sister is an employee of your company, you don't have to do this, right? Shin Kwangmyo asked suspiciously. Shin Kwangmyo's question was very sharp, but Yang Ming was not annoyed. After all, Shin Kwangmyo's original intention was for Shin Yushi's safety, so Yang Ming naturally would not blame him. Hee, my personal relationship with your sister is also good. Personal relationship? Shin Kwangmyo was stunned for a moment, but then he saw his sister lowering her head shyly. Could it be that this man and sister really had some kind of unknown relationship? Seeing his sister being intimately carried into the car, Shin Kwangmyo couldn't help but think more about it. His sister didn't say anything and even looked shy. Could it be that the rumors from before were true, and that elder sister was really related to him? Thinking of this possibility, Shin Kwangmyo breathed a sigh of relief. If this man really had that kind of relationship with his sister, not only did he not shake her off after her accident, but he also took her to see a doctor. He was indeed loyal. Wild bull, stop asking so many questions. Yang Ming has good intentions. Shin Yushi was afraid that her brother would continue to pester them, so she gave him a look. Seeing the look his sister gave him, Shin Kwangmyo was even more suspicious. Hee, since you are Shin Yushi's brother, then get in the car together. Maybe you can help in a while. Yang Ming saw that Shin Kwangmyo didn't seem to believe him, so he invited him to get in the car. Shin Kwangmyo heard Yang Ming's invitation, and it was exactly what he wanted. He could go along and see if he really took his sister to see a doctor. If it was true, he could also help or something. Okay, then I won't be polite. Shin Kwangmyo said as he got in the car and sat in the back seat of the car. Yang Ming smiled, started the car, and drove in the direction of the medical university. In the car, the atmosphere was a bit silent at first, but Shin Yushi took the initiative to break the silence. Shin Kwangmyo is my uncle's child. He is studying at number 4 high school. Shin Yushi introduced him to Yang Ming. Now that he is not too busy with his studies, he often comes to see me at home. Don't blame him. He has a good relationship with me since he was a child. Part of the money I earn from working is for his school. Oh. Number 4 high school? Yang Ming was slightly stunned. He glanced at Shin Kwangmyo from the rearview mirror. You are also from number 4 high school? Yes, I am from number 4 high school. Why are you also from there? Shin Kwangmyo was somewhat inexplicable. Hee, I also graduated from number 4 high school. Yang Ming smiled and said, but it is almost a year since I graduated. By the way, my cousin is also in number 4 high school. His name is Yang Xiaobo. Do you know him? He is also in the first year of high school. Yang Xiaobo? What? You are Yang Xiaobo's brother? Shin Kwangmyo's eyes widened in disbelief. He exclaimed, you are not called Yang Ming, right? Kwangmyo, you should call him brother Yang Ming. Don't talk nonsense. Shin Yushi glared at her brother and corrected him. You are really Yang Ming. Damn, it turns out that the legendary figure of number 4 high school is you. Shin Kwangmyo ignored his sister's glare and continued to say excitedly, fighting, skipping class, and flirting with the campus belle. You are an awesome existence. Yang Ming rolled his eyes. He thought that this guy was going to say something good, but he didn't expect it to be this. Yang Ming suddenly sweated. Shin Yushi couldn't help but cover her mouth. She giggled and couldn't help but look at Yang Ming. I didn't expect you to have such a glorious history. In Shin Yushi's mind, Yang Ming had always been a positive and sunny existence. Whether it was when he saved her in the hotel or a series of things after that, Shin Yushi's impression of Yang Ming was very good. However, she never thought that Yang Ming would be like this in high school. Who told you that? Yang Xiaobo? Yang Ming was somewhat speechless. Yeah, my relationship with Yang Xiaobo is very close. We are best friends. Absolutely. Shin Kwangmyo was a little excited. Those little punks in the school are terrified when they hear your name. I am definitely the tyrant of the school if I follow Yang Xiaobo. I see. No wonder you dare to stop the car. Yang Ming smiled bitterly. But what you said doesn't seem to be a glorious thing. Don't mention it in the future. Hee. Shin Kwangmyo suddenly said, brother-in-law, you don't have to pretend. In fact, I already know about your relationship with my sister. I will call you brother-in-law in the future. Just don't dump my sister. Hey. Yang Ming listened to Shin Kwangmyo's sudden words and almost drove the car into a tree. What kind of logic is this? Shin Yushi also blushed. She frowned and scolded her brother, Kwangmyo, don't talk nonsense. How can I have that kind of relationship with Yang Ming? Don't listen to rumors. Chapter 18-17. I really don't understand you guys. It's fine if you don't want to talk about it, but you still don't want to admit it. Shin Kwangmyo curled his lips. Sister, if he wasn't my brother-in-law, why would he take you to see a doctor when he's a big boss in Songjiang City? If you weren't his woman, why didn't you resist at all when he hugged you? Yang Ming smiled bitterly. He didn't expect Shin Kwangmyo to be so talkative. He was able to analyze these details clearly. What does a child know? Yang Ming has feelings for you. What does that have to do with what you said? Shin Yushi reprimanded her brother. Okay, I won't talk about it, okay? Shin Kwangmyo rolled his eyes and said, brother-in-law, your car is good. Can I bring my girlfriend here one day? Kwangmyo, what are you talking about? Shin Yushi was furious. You're so young yet you don't learn good things. How can you have a girlfriend? Who is your girlfriend? I'll go find her. I used to work to pay for your school fees, but you went to school to do whatever you want? Shin Kwangmyo stuck out his tongue. He had accidentally blurted it out. He did not dare to tell Shin Yushi about this before. However, when he saw Yang Ming today, he thought that Yang Ming was his brother-in-law, so he naturally blurted out his secret. Why aren't you talking? What's going on? Shin Yushi stared at Shin Kwangmyo. Okay, Yushi, you can't control this kind of thing. It's better to let him handle it himself. Yang Ming said with a smile, it's fine as long as it doesn't affect his studies. Hee, brother-in-law knows me well. Shin Kwangmyo was a little proud, I'm in the top 10 in my class. I have no problem getting into Songjiang Industry University. Shin Yushi looked at Yang Ming helplessly, but she also knew that his words were actually reasonable. It was better to let go of this kind of thing. If she really cared too much, it would easily cause a fierce backlash. Songshan Medical University was located in the neighboring city of Songjiang City. It was a medium-sized second-class city. Because it was developed earlier, it was more prosperous than Songjiang. It was about an hour's drive from Songshan City to Songshan City. There were no highways on the way, only the national highway that connected the two cities. Although Yang Ming was driving fast, he was still in a hurry. He only arrived at Songshan Medical University's family quarters at around 6 o'clock. The inspection of the family compound was very strict, but Yang Ming's car had a special pass. After the security guard checked it carefully, he was allowed to pass. According to the address provided by Lu Weishan, Yang Ming parked the car in front of a villa. Wild Bull, wait in the car with your sister for a while. I'll go down and take a look. If possible, you can carry your sister out again. Is that okay? Do you have the strength? Yang Ming asked Shin Kwangmyo. Brother-in-law, why don't you take a look at my name? Shin Kwangmyo. How can a Kwangmyo be weak? Don't say that my sister is very light. Even if two of them are as heavy, I can carry them. Shin Kwangmyo said unconvinced. Oh, okay. Yang Ming smiled and got out of the car. Then, he walked to the front of the villa. Just as he rang the doorbell, he saw a man and a woman coming to the villa. The man was about 20 years old, and the woman was about the same age. They looked like a couple. Hey. You are. The man saw Yang Ming at the door and felt a bit strange. Who are you looking for? I'm looking for Professor Guan. You are? Yang Ming guessed that the person in the car was probably someone in the villa. He should be Guan Shuaming's nephew. Oh, you're looking for my dad. The man nodded. Wait a minute. As he spoke, he took out the key and opened the door of the villa. Then, he entered the villa and shouted inside, Dad, someone is looking for you. Oh. Xiao Xiang, there's a guest? Guan Shuaming walked downstairs with a book in his hand. When he saw Yang Ming standing at the door, he was slightly stunned. Then, he said, You are Elder Lu's. Hello, Professor Guan. I'm Elder Lu's godson, Yang Ming. My godfather told you before that it's because of the illness of a friend of mine. Yang Ming explained. I know. Elder Lu told me. Guan Shuaming nodded. Where's your friend? I'll take a look at her now. Wait a minute, Professor Guan. I'll bring her here. Yang Ming looked at Guan Shuaming from head to toe. He was about 40 years old. He was in the prime of his life. He was tall and had the typical figure of a northeasterner. However, he was gentle and had the demeanor of a scholar. Guan Shuaming nodded and said, Xiao Xiang, go and pour some water for the guest, and then go back to your room to play. Okay, Dad. The young man named Xiao Xiang nodded and was about to pour water, but the girl next to him said first, Let me do it. Yang Ming went out of the villa and gestured to Shin Kwangmyo. Shin Kwangmyo got out of the car and carried Shin Yushi into the villa. Guan Shuaming gestured to him to put Shin Yushi in a separate room next to the living room on the first floor. There was a bed, a desk, and a sofa in the room. Guan Shuaming asked Shin Kwangmyo to put Shin Yushi on the sofa. Then, he gestured to Yang Ming and Shin Kwangmyo to sit on the sofa and wait. At this time, Xiao Xiang's girlfriend came in with a few cups of tea. She gave Yang Ming and Shin Kwangmyo a cup each. The remaining 2 cups were given to Guan Shuaming and put aside. Obviously, they were prepared for Shin Yushi. Uncle, I'll go out first. The girl asked Guan Xueming for instructions. Guan Xueming nodded. Close the door. After listening, the girl respectfully left and closed the door of the room. Guan Xueming then began to examine Shin Yushi. He pricked Shin Yushi's legs with a few sterilized silver needles and asked Shin Yushi if she felt anything. Seeing that Shin Yushi kept shaking her head, Guan Xueming was a little disappointed. He sighed. It's very serious. Although Yang Ming did not have much hope that Guan Xueming could cure Shin Yushi, he could not help but feel a little disappointed when he heard Guan Xueming's words. Professor Guan, are you saying that there is no hope? There will always be hope. Guan Xueming did not say it was impossible. But I can only guarantee that she can feel her legs. This is the limit of my ability. I'm already very grateful. Yang Ming also knew that this thing could not be rushed. Oh, maybe there will be a miracle, said Guan Xueming. I hope so. Yang Ming nodded. Professor Guan, thank you. Oh, you are Elder Lu's godson. What are you thanking me for? I have a good relationship with Elder Lu. I admire him very much. Guan Xueming said, Don't worry, I will do my best. Then, thank you very much. Professor Guan, the consultation fee. Yang Ming naturally could not refuse to pay. Although Guan Xueming did not say it, he could not mention it. Why are you still talking about money? Yang Ming, I'm helping an old friend. If you do this, I'm going to be angry. Guan Xueming didn't care much about things like money, so he put on a straight face. Chapter 18:18. Shin Yushi's leg could indeed be cured through acupuncture, but the key problem was that Guan Xueming's level was not enough to cure it. Guan Xueming was also very frank. Back then, I was guided by an expert. That's why I had some achievements in acupuncture. If that expert were to come in person, Shin Yushi's condition would definitely be cured. He's many times better than me. That master is. Yang Ming asked eagerly. That master is elusive. He is not famous in the medical field at all. I have asked around and found out that his name should be Lin Dongfang, the miracle Dr. Lin Dongfang. Guan Xueming was a little regretful. Just a little bit of advice from him, and I already have such medical skills. I am known as the Titan of Chinese medicine. If that master were to come in person, how powerful would he be? Lin Dongfang. Yang Ming said the name silently. Anyway, thank you, Elder Guan. He, you are welcome. Guan Xueming sighed. If you can really meet miracle Dr. Lin Dongfang in the future, please let me see him again. I really want to see him again. Even if I don't say anything, I just want to see him once. If this is possible, I am naturally happy to help. Yang Ming nodded and agreed to Guan Xueming's request. Shin Yushi can stay here. It is also convenient for her treatment. I give her acupuncture 3 times a day. It should be effective, said Guan Xueming. But Yushi's daily life is very inconvenient. I am afraid that she. Yang Ming was referring to Shin Yushi eating or going to the toilet. Guan Xueming could not take care of her. It's okay. Aunt Lu is here. Guan Xueming laughed. Aunt Lu is the nanny at home. She is not at home now. She went out to buy groceries. She can take care of Yushi. Since Guan Xueming suggested so, Yang Ming did not argue. After discussing with Shin Yushi, they left Shin Yushi at Guan Xueming's house. Yang Ming returned to Songjiang with Shin Kuangnyo. On the way, Shin Kuangnyo was a little worried. Brother-in-law, will my sister be lonely there alone? I will come to see her often, but if you have time, come and accompany your sister more often. Yang Ming had no problem visiting Shin Yushi during this time, but Yang Ming was worried about Shin Yushi after he went to Yunnan. Don't worry, brother-in-law. She is my sister, of course, I will come to see her. Shin Kuangnyo nodded. On Friday night, Yang wanted to contact Shin Yushi. However, he saw Chen Mengyan packing her things. Chen. Tomorrow, the economics department will organize a spring outing. I am the student council president of the economics department. Of course, I have to prepare. Chen Mengyan said with some regret. But they don't allow me to bring my family and friends. Otherwise, would have brought you and Jejia with me, you? Tomorrow's spring outing? Yang Ming's eyes widened. He thought that only the graduate students of the economics department would go on the spring outing tomorrow. He did not expect the undergraduate students to go together. Yes, only Sister Lin and I can go. Chen Mengyan said. The graduate students can bring their family and friends, but there is no other way. We are just undergraduate students. So. Then how are you going to go tomorrow? Yang Ming complained in his heart. I wanted to drive myself, but I am a student council member. It is not good to drive myself. I can only take the bus with everyone. Chen Mengyan said, but it's okay. The bus is very comfortable. The journey is not too far. We are going to the Moon on the Sea Resort in Donghai. Moon on the Sea Resort? Why is this name so familiar? Yang Ming thought about it. There seemed to be a promotion on TV. It was a resort near the seaside. There were rockery in the resort, and it was close to the beach and the sea. It attracted a lot of tourists, right? Yang Ming suddenly remembered that this was a hotel resort that Zhou Jiejia's mother and son Jia had invested in together. But now, it should be Tian Donghua who was in charge. Yang Ming smiled bitterly. I haven't been there even once. I don't know what the resort looks like. Since Mother Zhou's father came back from being a butler, the two of them went on a trip around the world. They left the business in their hands to Tian Donghua to manage. Now the two of them were on X Island. It seemed that they had the intention to settle down. Father Zhou had the experience of being a butler. It was more than enough to be a butler on X Island. They also understood that money was just a number to Yang Ming. Their daughter would not be short of money if she followed Yang Ming. So, what was the point of managing their own business? It was better to let go early. The two of them could still enjoy life. Isn't that the resort of Jiejia's family? Asked Yang Ming. It seems to be true. Chen Mengyan also remembered that this seemed to be the resort of Zhou Jiejia's family. Isn't that the resort opened by Auntie Hua and sister Sun Jie? Chen Mengyan naturally knew Sun Jie. The last time the company had a problem, it was Sun Jie who solved it. So, Sun Jie wasn't a stranger to her. This strong woman in the business world made Chen Mengyan admire her very much. Lin Jiyun admired her even more. She always contacted Sun Jie privately to learn from her. So this time, Lin Jiyun also planned to visit sister Sun Jie when she went to the Hai Mingwei Resort in Donghai. Of course, Chen Mengyan didn't know the relationship between Sun Jie and Yang Ming. If she knew, she probably wouldn't visit Sun Jie with Lin Jiyun. It should be. Yang Ming pretended to ask casually, right, Mengyan, do the graduate students also go to this resort like you? Yeah, what's wrong? Chen Mengyan nodded. Nothing, just asking casually. Yang Ming said, many of the graduate students are working people in society. The age difference is relatively large. They shouldn't play together with you undergraduate students. Oh, they don't live in the same building as us. They should play on their own, right? Chen Mengyan said. I see. Yang Ming breathed a sigh of relief. If it was like what Chen Mengyan said, then it wasn't bad. Otherwise, wouldn't he and Zhao Ying have to face Chen Mengyan and Lin Jiyun? But even so, Yang Ming had to change his plan a little. He couldn't let Chen Mengyan meet him and Zhao Ying. Otherwise, before he left, it would be terrible if there was a fire in his backyard. He wouldn't be able to leave peacefully. Mengyan, then I will go upstairs first. Call me when you are done. I will sleep in your room tonight, said Yang Ming. Chen Mengyan blushed. She naturally understood Yang Ming's meaning. Chapter 18-19. This night was destined to be a sleepless night for Yang Ming. Yang Ming didn't expect that it would be so difficult to tell Zhao Ying before leaving and leave a beautiful memory. There was also a problem with this spring outing. Undergraduate and graduate students going together? Yang Ming smiled bitterly. Turning on the computer, Yang Ming quickly logged into QQ, found Wild Female Teacher, and sent her a message. Are you there? Wild Female Teacher, yes, what's wrong? Is there anything wrong? There's no true love in this world, nothing, what are you doing? Wild Female Teacher, I'm packing up to see what I'll bring tomorrow. What about you? There's no true love in this world, me too, preparing tomorrow's things. Wild Female Teacher, right? I was about to send you a message. Will you wait for me at the school gate tomorrow? There's no true love in this world, no, you better give me your address. I'll go there directly. How would Yang Ming dare to wait for Zhao Ying at the school gate? Wouldn't he be waiting for Chen Mengyan to find out? Wild Female Teacher, what's wrong? What's wrong with meeting at the school gate? Zhao Ying felt a little strange, but she didn't want to tell her home address to a netizen. After all, this was the privacy of reality. Zhao Ying was really going to have a showdown with There's No True Love in This World tomorrow. She probably wouldn't have that kind of feeling for him when they met tomorrow. There's no true love in this world, there may be acquaintances at the school gate. It's not good. Yang Ming said vaguely. Wild Female Teacher, if that's the case, why don't you wait for me at the gate of Huashang District? Zhao Ying gave a general address. Huashang District was very big. Even if she told him, he couldn't find the specific address. There's no true love in this world, be specific. My car can't always be parked at the gate of Huashang District, right? Wild Female Teacher, well, then you wait for me near Building 16 in Area A. Zhao Ying was a little helpless. Why did this person ask so much? There's no true love in this world, okay, then let's go to Building 16 in Area A. I'll wait for you there tomorrow morning. Yang Ming laughed secretly. Zhao Ying was quite careful. She clearly lived in Building 18 of Area A, but she said that it was Building 16 of Area A. It seemed that she was still on her guard. Wild Female Teacher, all right then. Oh right, I'm done packing. Do you have time? Play Fight the Landlord with me. Zhao Ying felt a little melancholy. If it were up to her, she would definitely not be as carefree and unrestrained as she was now after seeing There's No True Love in This World tomorrow. Netizens who had never met each other were different from those who had. Now, he could casually call her wifey without retorting because he was very similar to Yang Ming, very similar. She could imagine him as Yang Ming, but once she saw him and realized that he was completely different from what she imagined, then she would definitely not have any thoughts about him. Even if she returned to the internet, she would no longer think of him as Yang Ming. After all, their tones were similar, but it did not mean that everything else was the same. In this way, even if the two of them were not strangers on the internet, they would definitely not be as close as they were now. At most, they could only be ordinary friends. So thinking of this, Zhao Ying felt a little melancholy. After all, There's No True Love in This World had been accompanying her in this world all this time. Thinking about it, it would not be in the future. Zhao Ying could only pull him to play Fight the Landlord again. It could be considered as a last memory. There's no true love in this world, alright, where is it? You can find a room. Yang Ming did not have this awareness because he knew that after meeting, the two of them would only be more intimate on the internet. The words that could not be said before could be said after meeting. Wild Female Teacher, Server Area 3, Room 4, Table 72. There's no true love in this world, coming. After entering the room, very quickly, an idiot named I'm Beating You came in. He would probably lose all his money in a while, N. Yang Ming was stunned. This name was quite awesome. I'm beating you. When I lose in a while, I will know whether it's you or not. Wild female teacher, I'm going to ask for a card first. Cooperate with me. There's no true love in this world, no problem. Wild female teacher, why is that? I'm beating you asking for a card. Zhao Ying did not expect that the person who came later would be so quick to call for a card first. There's no true love in this world, who knows? He thinks that he is awesome just because he came up with an awesome name? Wild female teacher. Let's play first. I'll screenshot my card for you. There's no true love in this world, your card is so bad. Mine is not good either. Yang Ming took a screenshot of his card and gave it to Zhao Ying. Wild female teacher, you are so bad too. Zhao Ying sent a crying emoji. She did not expect that after the two of them worked together to cheat others for so long, there would be a time when they failed. Although the two of them played, they did not expect that I'm beating you would have such good cards. He won very quickly. Not only did he win, but he also sent an infuriating sentence. I'm here to beat cheaters. I'm beating you. Then, he left the room. This made Zhao Ying very angry. Did this guy just leave after playing for a while? He left after winning. Wasn't this too infuriating? Especially the sentence after that. It was obvious that he knew that Yang Ming and Zhao Ying had cheated. That was why he sent that sentence. Wild female teacher, I'm so angry. I'm not playing anymore. There's no true love in this world, this guy seems to be here to infuriate us. Yang Ming had never seen someone like this. He left after winning one round. Wild female teacher, yes, I'm going to sleep. See you tomorrow morning. Zhao Ying originally wanted to leave one last beautiful memory. She and there's no true love in this world cooperated to kill everyone on the night. However, she lost her mood because of that, I'm beating you. There's no true love in this world, well, see you tomorrow morning. Yang Ming didn't know that Zhao Ying would be so disappointed and angry. If he knew, he would definitely find Zhou Jiejia to hack the computer of I'm beating you. Yang Ming turned off the computer. He guessed that Chen Mengyan was almost done packing. He walked to her room. Early the next morning, Chen Mengyan and Lin Jiyun went to the school gate to gather. Zhou Jiejia was still busy with Xiao Qing's project. She had little time to go home. When she came back, she left in a hurry in the morning. Yang Ming waited for the three of them to leave before he went to the garage to take the car out. After thinking about it, he didn't dare to drive his BMW X5. The brand of this car was too obvious. If he parked it downstairs in the resort, wouldn't Chen Mengyan and Lin Jiyun see it? Wouldn't he be courting death? Thinking of this, Yang Ming called Little Wang and asked him to drive to Huashang District, Area A, Building 16 and wait for him. Yang Ming hadn't looked for Wang Lin for a while. Wang Lin was very happy after receiving the call. He quickly drove to the Huashang District where Yang Ming was. He was just a little puzzled. Why did Yang Ming ask him to drive to Building 16 in Area A instead of the villa area? Chapter 1820. However, as a driver, Little Wang naturally knew his duties. He knew what he could ask and what he couldn't ask. What was there to question about the boss's instructions? Little Wang went to the company to pick up the car immediately. Since the last time he was seen by Yang Ming driving his car to attend a class reunion with his girlfriend, Little Wang was more careful. He no longer drove out for personal matters. Although Yang Ming didn't explicitly prohibit it, Little Wang had to restrain himself. Fortunately, his girlfriend, Little Ran, also understood him. She knew that his job and position were hard to come by, so she wouldn't embarrass him. Little Wang parked the car near Building 16 in Area A, and then called Yang Ming. Not long after, he saw Yang Ming wearing a pair of sunglasses, a cap, and a mask on his mouth. He walked over quickly. If Little Wang wasn't focused on waiting for Yang Ming, he almost didn't recognize that the person in front of him was Yang Ming. Yang Ming opened the door and quickly sat in. Why is the boss dressed like a private detective today? Little Wang, accompany me to Donghai in these 2 days. Is it okay? Asked Yang Ming. No problem, Brother Yang. Although little Wang had a lot of work, his first job was to accompany Yang Ming, so he certainly had no problem with where Yang Ming asked him to go. Yang Ming nodded. What you saw today, don't talk about it. Don't mention it to anyone. Yang Ming instructed little Wang. Brother Yang, I know what to do. Little Wang knew what a qualified driver should be like. He should listen in one ear and ignore the other. Yang Ming saw that little Wang answered so simply, so he didn't say anything more. He sent a message to Zhaoying using QQ on his mobile phone, telling her that he had arrived. Soon, Zhaoying replied, Why are you still sending QQ messages? I told you my phone number. Can't you send a text message? Yang Ming smiled bitterly. If he used his phone to send a text message, wouldn't Zhaoying recognize him immediately? After waiting for a while, Yang Ming saw a young girl dressed very brightly walk over. She then looked around, clearly looking for something. Yang Ming didn't expect that Zhaoying would dress up like a sunny girl. Zhaoying was wearing a beige windbreaker and a pair of blue and black jeans. She was carrying a large backpack on her shoulder. She looked like a little girl who was going on a trip. DD. Yang Ming honked twice, which shocked Zhaoying. She looked in the direction of the car and saw a black Audi A8L parked not far in front of her. Zhaoying was slightly stunned. Then, she realized that this might be the car of her online friend. There's no true love in this world. However, based on Zhao Ying's contact, there's no true love in this world, should be a student. How could he afford an Audi A8? This car wasn't cheap. Although Zhaoying didn't know how to drive, she still knew about the car prices on the internet. Zhaoying walked to the side of the Audi A8 with some suspicion because Zhaoying found that in the vicinity of Building 16, except for this Audi A8, there seemed to be no other car with people in it. Could it be this car? When Zhaoying approached, the door of the Audi A8 suddenly opened. It almost shocked Zhaoying, and she subconsciously stepped back. Yang Ming jumped down from the passenger seat of the car. Wild female teacher? Zhaoying was slightly stunned when she saw Yang Ming's outfit. Who is this person? He is armed to the teeth like Detective 008. This person is the online friend I want to meet. There's no true love in this world. However, this voice is somewhat familiar, and the figure is also somewhat familiar. Zhaoying asked subconsciously, There's no true love in this world? It's me. Yang Ming nodded, and then opened the back door of the Audi A8. Please get in the car, you. Zhaoying felt a bit strange. Why is this person armed like this? The weather isn't cold, right? However, since it had been determined that the person was, there's no true love in this world, Zhaoying also got in the car. But she still had some doubts. After getting in the car, she asked, Why are you dressed like this? You will know in a while. Yang Ming smiled bitterly. I didn't expect that, wild female teacher, would be you. Although I had already guessed it, I still wasn't sure. But now it seems, Yang Ming lied to Zhaoying here, but he didn't dare to tell the truth directly. He was afraid that Zhaoying would think that he had been playing with her, so Yang Ming used a guessing reason. Zhaoying was somewhat inexplicable. Indeed, there's no true love in this world was really inexplicable. What did he mean by this? Little Wang, drive. Park the car at the entrance of Songjiang Industry University. Don't be too close. Yang Ming instructed little Wang. Although Chen Mengyan and Lin Jian hadn't seen this car, Yang Ming still had to be careful. After all, there was nothing wrong with being careful. What do you mean by what you said just now? Zhaoying saw that, there's no true love in this world, didn't answer her question, so she asked again, What do you mean by you didn't expect that, wild female teacher, would be me? Did you know me before? The more Zhaoying listened to the voice of this online friend, the more familiar it was. Besides being strange, the doubts in her heart were heavier. Sister Ing. Yang Ming took off his mask and sunglasses helplessly. You are. Yang Ming? Zhao Ying widened her eyes and looked at Yang Ming in disbelief. How could it be Yang Ming? She just felt that this person was a bit familiar, but she didn't expect that person to be Yang Ming. Because Zhao Ying simply didn't think in that direction, she didn't think that, there's no true love in this world, was Yang Ming. However, the facts were in front of her. This person was indeed Yang Ming. It's me, but let's get to know each other again, wild female teacher. There's no true love in this world. Yang Ming smiled bitterly and reached out his hand. You were Yang Ming before? Zhao Ying was somewhat incoherent. I was naturally Yang Ming before. I was born as Yang Ming. Yang Ming didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Ugh. Zhao Ying also found that her question was a bit faulty. She was a bit embarrassed. I mean, you have been using this QQ number before? Yeah, I have been using it. Yang Ming nodded. I have been using it since high school. Then how did you add me? I remember that it was you who added me on QQ. You didn't know that this person was me? Zhao Ying was a bit puzzled. Is Yang Ming lying to me? This account was added by Yang Ming. If Yang Ming didn't know my identity, did he just add it casually? How is it possible? Is there such a coincidence in the world? Your QQ number is one bit different from Chen Mingyan's. Yang Ming smiled bitterly. Chen Mingyan's QQ is XXXXX2, and yours is XXXXX22, there is an extra 2. Chapter 1821. One-digit difference? Zhao Ying suddenly remembered that she did have Chen Mingyan's QQ number, and her QQ number was indeed one digit different from hers. At that time, Zhao Ying felt that it was strange that there was such a coincidence in the world. Yeah. Yang Ming smiled bitterly. At that time, I thought you were Chen Mingyan, but then I found out that I added the wrong number, so we chatted until now. Later, I probably guessed your identity, but I wasn't sure. In fact, I was afraid that you wouldn't talk to me after I confirmed it, so I dragged it until we met. Zhao Ying was a little angry, but she was helpless. Yang Ming's reason was reasonable, but Zhao Ying didn't believe that he didn't notice it at all. However, Yang Ming also admitted that he probably guessed it. This made Zhao Ying unable to be angry. This incident made Zhao Ying a little ashamed. Her performance on the internet showed that she had accepted "there's no true love in this world" as her online lover. She called him dear, but heard him call her wife. This made Zhao Ying feel that she had betrayed Yang Ming. Although these two were the same person, the key problem was that she didn't know before. Would Yang Ming misunderstand that she was a fickle woman? Fickle-minded? Obviously, I like Yang Ming, but at the same time, I maintain a relationship with a netizen? Zhao Ying felt a little wronged. She didn't want to bring the internet into reality. Today, she also wanted to have a showdown with "there's no true love in this world," but she didn't expect that before she had a showdown, she found that the person she wanted to have a showdown with was Yang Ming. Then, how could she have a showdown? Thinking of this, Zhao Ying bowed her head and didn't say anything. She was a little annoyed, but she was more at a loss. She didn't know how to face Yang Ming next. The current situation made her even more confused. Seeing that Zhao Ying didn't speak, Yang Ming quickly asked carefully, "Sister Ying, what's wrong with you?" "I'm fine." Zhao Ying shook her head. "Are you okay?" Yang Ming naturally knew that it wasn't that Zhao Ying was fine. She just couldn't accept the change from an online friend to a real person. Yang Ming sighed. If it weren't for the fact that he was about to leave for Yunnan, he wouldn't be in such a hurry to meet Zhao Ying. At the very least, he would need some time to adapt. However, time waits for no one. Lu Yezi had already called yesterday and was ready to set off. On his side, there were still many things that had not been settled, which gave Yang Ming a headache. Nothing. Zhao Ying turned her head and ignored Yang Ming. "Sister Ying, are you angry?" Yang Ming said with a grin. At this moment, he had no other choice, but his thick skin could deal with everything. Zhao Ying did not say anything. Sister Ying? Yang Ming continued to call out. Zhao Ying still didn't say anything. Sister Ying, actually. Well, I'll be honest with you. Yang Ming sighed helplessly. He really didn't have much time to make Zhao Ying happy. If it wasn't for the incident in Yunnan, Yang Ming could appear in front of Zhao Ying every day. Yang Ming believed in the saying that a thick-skinned person was invincible. Several of his wives were found because of his thick skin, so Zhao Ying was no exception. But now, the key problem was that Yang Ming didn't have so much time to waste. In order to not let Zhao Ying and himself have any regrets before leaving, Yang Ming decided to be honest with Zhao Ying. As for Zhao Ying's choice, Yang Ming wouldn't force anything. He just didn't want Zhao Ying and himself to regret this matter in the future. Be honest? So, you admit that you guessed it was me a long time ago, right? Zhao Ying thought about it. She had clearly mentioned Yang Ming and Wang Xiaoyan many times. There's no true love in this world, no matter how stupid he was, he could guess that the two people she was talking about were actually himself. So Zhao Ying didn't believe Yang Ming's previous words. What did he mean by guessing but not being sure? Yes, it can be said that I guessed it a long time ago. Yang Ming nodded. I couldn't be sure before, but later, when I heard you talk about Wang Xiaoyan and me, I was completely sure that wild female teacher was you, Sister Ying. Yang Ming, lower your voice. Zhao Ying pointed at the driver, Wang Lin, in front of the car. She was afraid that Yang Ming's words would be heard by the driver. Brother Yang, I'm addicted to smoking. I'm going to smoke a cigarette. Sorry. Wang Lin was very perceptive. He directly opened the door and got out of the car. Anyway, the car was parked not far from the entrance of Songjiang Industry University. If they set off, he could follow at any time. He didn't need to stay in the car and watch at all times. However, Wang Lin still admired Yang Ming. He actually had so many beautiful girlfriends. However, admiration was admiration. Little Wang didn't want to imitate. He knew that he didn't have such great strength and ability. The result of imitating was that he would be kicked to death by his girlfriend, Little Ran. Of course, Little Wang wouldn't tell anyone what he saw today. This kind of thing couldn't be said, even if he was beaten to death. Wang Lin lit a cigarette, then turned around and walked to the side of a big tree. He squatted on the ground and smoked. This time, it's fine. He got off. Yang Ming laughed twice. He didn't expect Little Wang to be like this. Isn't it because of you? Zhao Ying glared at Yang Ming. Well, you say it. I'm listening. I want to see what you have to explain to me. In fact, although Zhao Ying was angry, she finally met Yang Ming. Yang Ming was ready to have a showdown with her. Of course, she wouldn't always not give Yang Ming a chance. Now that Little Wang got off the car, Zhao Ying naturally gave Yang Ming a chance to speak. Hee, Sister Ying, in fact, as I said, I guessed it before. Yang Ming smiled. However, I originally planned to slowly have a showdown with you after a while. This way, it would be easier for you to accept, and you wouldn't have any emotions. Are you premeditating this? Zhao Ying snorted. Although Yang Ming's words made sense, Zhao Ying was still a little unhappy to be set up by Yang Ming. It's considered premeditated. Yang Ming nodded. The relationship between the two of us is more complicated. Although there is no teacher-student relationship now and we are classmates, I think there will always be a barrier between you and Meng Yan, right? Zhao Ying didn't speak, but she nodded in her heart. But I really don't have time. Yang Ming smiled bitterly. Sister Ying, I have to leave soon. Leave? Where are you going? Zhao Ying was slightly stunned and looked at Yang Ming strangely. To Yunnan, said Yang Ming. Yunnan? Zhao Ying didn't know whether to laugh or cry. You are going to Yunnan. How can you say you don't have time? Don't you often go abroad? Chapter 1822. Although Zhao Ying didn't have much contact with Yang Ming, she could still get news about Yang Ming from Wang Xiaoyan. Even if there was no Wang Xiaoyan, there was still Sun Jie and Xiao Qing. In short, this time, I don't know how long I will be gone. I don't know if I can come back. Yang Ming said with a sad face. What do you mean? Zhao Ying was confused. She asked inexplicably, Yang Ming, what do you mean you don't know if you can come back? What are you talking about? Why can't I understand? Sister Ying, in fact, I have a special identity that you don't know. Yang Ming suddenly turned into a serious expression and looked at Zhao Ying. Special identity? What do you mean? Aren't you Yang Ming? What other special identity do you have? Zhao Ying was stunned. You mean your identity on the internet? You mean there's no true love in this world? I know this. It's not that, Sister Ying. What I mean is that my identity is actually that of an agent. Yang Ming didn't know how to explain the nature of his work, but to outsiders, he could be called an agent or a special service member. In this way, most people should understand that it was the kind of person who specialized in performing difficult and high-risk tasks. Agent? Zhao Ying was stunned. She looked at Yang Ming in disbelief. What did you say? You are an agent? It was no wonder that Zhao Ying didn't believe it, because Yang Ming's words were a bit unbelievable. Yang Ming was an ordinary college student. How could he be related to an agent? Zhao Ying naturally didn't believe Yang Ming's words. Yes, I am an agent. Yang Ming nodded affirmatively. Yang Ming, you and I have known each other for so long. Why do you still like to lie so much? Zhao Ying widened her eyes and looked at Yang Ming. Can you be serious? I'm serious, Sister Ying. I'm not lying to you, I'm really a special agent. Yang Ming smiled bitterly. Then, he took out a document from his pocket and handed it to Zhao Ying. Sister Ying, if you don't believe me, take a look. Zhao Ying took the ID from Yang Ming and looked at the photo on it. Her face suddenly changed. You didn't just ask someone to do this, did you? There's a steel seal on it. How can we just do something like that? Yang Ming smiled bitterly. This is just my military ID. It's to make it easier for me to carry out missions. I also have a special ID. Do you want to take a look? There's more. Zhao Ying was stunned. You can't really be an agent, right? Sister Ying, I'm really an agent. Yang Ming nodded. Sister Ying, if I didn't have anything special, do you really think that I could go from an ordinary college student to the height I have today? Zhao Ying thought about it and agreed. Yang Ming established his own business group in just 1 year. Moreover, he seemed to have a very wide network of connections. These things couldn't be compared to the poor student Yang Ming from a year ago. Thinking of this, Zhao Ying couldn't help but nod. So, you're really an agent? Sister Ying, this identity is actually a secret. However, I'm leaving soon. I'm going to Yunnan to carry out a very dangerous and very special mission. After I go, I don't know when I'll be able to come back. So, before I leave, I don't want you and me to have any regrets. So, I decided to use this method of meeting online to meet you. Yang Ming explained. Because, I really don't know if I'll be able to come back, you. Zhao Ying never thought that Yang Ming would be an agent. Moreover, he was about to carry out a very dangerous mission. This made her forget the previous unhappiness for a while. She also forgot about being angry with Yang Ming. She also forgot about her own cowardice. She looked at Yang Ming nervously. Yang Ming, what mission are you going to carry out? Can you not go? No. Yang Ming smiled. Sister Ying, I have to go on this mission. But you. Zhao Ying still wanted to say something, but Yang Ming waved his hand. Sister Ying, I'm telling you this because I don't have much time left. This may be the last chance for us to meet. It may also be the last time we go out to play together. Yang Ming sighed. After this, I'm afraid that I'll have to pack up and prepare to leave. So, I don't want to leave any regrets before I leave. That's why I'm telling you so much. However, I hope that you can keep this a secret. Don't tell anyone, okay? You're saying that even Chen Mengyan doesn't know about this? Zhao Ying was a little surprised. Meng Yan doesn't know, but Yan Yan does. Yang Ming nodded. She won't tell anyone. You have to keep this a secret for me, this, okay? Although Zhao Ying didn't know if she should tell Chen Mengyan about this, she thought that Yang Ming's words should be confidential. Since Yang Ming didn't want her to say it, she could only keep it a secret. Yan Yan already knew about your identity? Zhao Ying was a little surprised. Yes, she already knew. Yang Ming didn't deny it. However, Yan Yan's identity isn't as simple as it seems on the surface. However, I can't say it. She may tell you in the future. This is also why I told her. Yan Yan's identity? Zhao Ying was slightly stunned. Then, she remembered that when she and Wang Xiaoyan lived together, Wang Xiaoyan always went out alone at night and came back very late. She should be hiding something from her. But now, Zhao Ying didn't have the mind to care about Wang Xiaoyan's identity. She was mainly worried about Yang Ming. Yang Ming, what is your mission? Can you tell me? This, I can't tell you the details. After I leave, if you want to know, you can ask Yan Yan. If I can't come back, you and Yan Yan can tell this to Meng Yan and the others. When Yang Ming said this, he was very solemn, as if he was giving his last words. This made Zhao Ying a little sad. The person she liked was actually an agent. This was something that Zhao Ying couldn't think of at all. When she knew about this, Yang Ming was going to leave. Zhao Ying couldn't accept this fact. She originally thought that Yang Ming's so-called showdown with her was to talk about their relationship and how to get along in the future. However, Yang Ming was talking about this. He was about to go on an expedition to a dangerous place. Zhao Ying had the feeling of a girl in the past who was about to get married but learned that her fiancé was going to the battlefield to fight. It was very heavy and made her feel very depressed. However, she didn't know how to express her feelings at this moment. The original blame and scolding for Yang Ming had disappeared. What was left was only reluctance and tenderness. Yang Ming, what are you trying to say by telling me this? Zhao Ying suddenly raised her head and looked directly at Yang Ming. She seemed to have made a decision in her heart. Chapter 1823. Express what? Yang Ming was slightly stunned. You want to tell me that our relationship will end today, right? Asked Zhao Ying. You can say that. Yang Ming sighed. Sister Ying, although many things happened between you and me, we couldn't be together in the end. So, you are different from Meng Yan and the others. You still have your own life. After I leave, you can also find a better one. Although Yang Ming didn't want Zhao Ying to find others, Yang Ming was leaving soon. He couldn't delay Zhao Ying, right? Zhao Ying and himself had never really been together, so they didn't have a relationship. Yang Ming couldn't be too selfish. Yang Ming, what do you mean by this? Zhao Ying suddenly became very excited after listening. You mean, they can, but I can't? This. Yang Ming didn't expect Zhao Ying to be so excited all of a sudden. He was a little embarrassed. Sister Ying, don't be so excited. You don't understand what I mean. No, I understand. You don't understand what I mean. Zhao Ying was even more excited. Yang Ming, do you think that I can meet with there's no true love in this world today because I like him? That I want to have something with him? This. Yang Ming didn't think about this at all. In his opinion, there's no true love in this world. No true love in this world was himself. No matter who Zhao Ying liked, it was Yang Ming. What was the difference? Don't talk first. Let me finish. The gentle Zhao Ying mercilessly interrupted Yang Ming's words. Yang Ming, in fact, this time, I want to have a showdown with there's no true love in this world. I don't want to continue to develop anything with him. N? You want to have a showdown too? Yang Ming was slightly stunned. He didn't expect Zhao Ying to have a showdown with him. Yang Ming, in fact, I can't deny that I have a good impression of there's no true love in this world on the internet. But it's based on the fact that I think he is very similar to you. His tone of speech and style of doing things made me regard him as your substitute. That's why I have a good impression of him, said Zhao Ying. However, that's only limited to the internet. Because I know that although his way of speaking is similar to yours, they can't be exactly the same person. When we meet, no matter the appearance or other things, they can't be the same as you. So, I don't intend to continue to develop with him. Meeting him can also let me dispel the good impression in my heart. A substitute is just a substitute. It can't be exactly the same as you. Yang Ming was slightly stunned. He knew that Zhao Ying had misunderstood him. Sister Ying, in fact, from my point of view, there's no true love in this world as me. They are the same person, so whoever you have a good impression of is me. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't think you have a change of heart. Is that so? Zhao Ying was stunned. She didn't expect Yang Ming to think like this. Didn't he think that she had a change of heart? Was that why he said what he said today? Of course, my sister Ying, I've never thought like what you said. You like me in real life, so naturally you have a good impression of me on the internet. We are obviously the same person. Why are you so conflicted? Yang Ming smiled bitterly. But Sister Ying, what I mean to say to you is that since we don't have a substantial relationship now, I don't want to hold you back. Substantial? How can that be considered substantial? Zhao Ying smiled slightly. Yang Ming, actually, between you and me, we started to have a good impression of each other before you and Chen Mengyan, right? Zhao Ying was talking about the little flirtatious thing that happened between her and Yang Ming that night during the tutoring session. This. Yang Ming smiled bitterly. You can say that. So, what I want to say is that my feelings for you are no less than anyone else's. Even more than that. Zhao Ying said, if it weren't for this, I wouldn't have quit my job in school and studied here as a graduate student. Yang Ming didn't expect Zhao Ying's attitude to be so intense and firm. He didn't know what to say. He smiled bitterly and lowered his head. Sister Ying, even if what you said is true, in fact, there is really nothing between us, right? How is there nothing between us? Isn't it just that we didn't sleep together? Zhao Ying heard that Yang Ming was leaving. She threw aside the reservations in her heart because she also knew that this was the last chance. If she didn't seize it, she might regret it for the rest of her life. Besides that, what else is missing? This is the difference. Yang Ming said, Sister Ying, you don't have anything to do with me now. In the future, we can start a new relationship. Zhao Ying stubbornly raised her head and said the first strong word she said to Yang Ming since she met him. Well, since you said so, after tonight, I will be like them. The current situation forced Zhao Ying to make this bold decision. If it were the Zhao Ying of the past, she would never say such words, and she wouldn't be so determined to make such a decision. However, the current situation waited for no one. Zhao Ying knew that if she hesitated, she might not have a chance in her life. Sister Ying, you. Yang Ming was shocked and speechless for a while. He didn't understand why Zhao Ying was so persistent and determined. This was completely different from the previous Zhao Ying who was hesitant and reserved. However, if Yang Ming could calm down and think about it carefully, he would realize that although Zhao Ying looked weak, there was a firm persistence in her weakness. She was loyal to one person and would never leave. Although she didn't say anything, she had been following Yang Ming silently from Songjiang No. 4 High School to the University of Industry until now. Yang Ming, don't say any more. I have already missed it once. I regret it. I really regret it. Zhao Ying said, so, I don't want to miss it a second time. Even for a lifetime. I don't want to. Zhao Ying's voice suddenly became louder. If the car wasn't soundproof, little Wang outside would have heard Zhao Ying's words. Zhao Ying was a little excited. Her chest moved up and down. Her eyes were fixed on Yang Ming. Yang Ming, our identities are the same now. We are all students of the University of Industry. I don't want the gap between us to continue. Sister Ying, you are too excited. Calm down. Calm down. It will be fine after you calm down. Yang Ming persuaded with some helplessness. Zhao Ying's current mood was really too excited. Yang Ming didn't think that Zhao Ying would be so excited. No, I'm not excited. What I said was not a moment of impulse. It will be the same if I calm down. Zhao Ying said, I have thought about it before. I want to be sisters with Xiao Qing, Sun Jia, and Wang Xiaoyan, real sisters. Chapter 1824. Doesn't Chen Mengyan not know about their existence? If I am with them, I am not afraid of having any conflict with Chen Mengyan. I don't need Chen Mengyan's approval. Aren't the three of them also very happy? So it's enough for me to be like them. Zhao Ying instantly figured it out and took a firm step forward because of this reason. In the past, she was worried about Chen Mengyan's feelings. She was afraid that after she was with Yang Ming, Chen Mengyan would not let it go. But now, looking at it, Sun Jia, Xiao Qing, and Wang Xiaoyan were not known by Chen Mengyan. If they could live together peacefully, why couldn't she? Even if I don't have the approval of Chen Mengyan, Lin Jiyun, and Zhou Jiejia, I have the approval of Sun Jia, Xiao Qing, and Wang Xiaoyan. There are also 3 people. With my participation, I won't be weaker than Chen Mengyan. I don't need to be entangled with whether Chen Mengyan approves of me or not. Yang Ming looked at Zhao Ying with some surprise. He didn't expect Zhao Ying to figure out the problem that she had been entangled with. That's right, I have always wanted Zhao Ying to overcome this hurdle, and then logically be together with me. However, that was my previous idea before I learned about the mission to Yunnan. But now, Yang Ming was about to go to Yunnan to perform an extremely dangerous special mission. He had to consider Zhao Ying's future life. Yang Ming wasn't a selfish person. He didn't want his woman to be a widow after he couldn't come back. In his heart, Yang Ming didn't want them to have a new man, but Yang Ming was a rational person. He knew that he was dead, so he couldn't harm others. Chen Mengyan, Lin Jiyun, Xiao Qing, Sun Jia, Wang Xiaoyan, Huang Lele, and others. Yang Ming couldn't persuade them to give up on him now. Yang Ming knew that he didn't have the ability to persuade them. Even Zhou Jiejia, who wasn't in a relationship, had been together day and night. Yang Ming couldn't immediately change her mind. Therefore, he could only use time to slowly erase the persistence and protection of love in their hearts. However, Yang Ming was different. Yang Ming regretted being so close to Zhao Ying on the internet. Zhao Ying. Zhao. Especially the more stubborn Zhao Ying was, the more guilty Yang Ming felt. He felt that he shouldn't continue to be with Zhao Ying. Sister Ying, it's just a coincidence that I'm with each of them, but you and I. Yang Ming didn't know how to persuade Zhao Ying. I really don't want to delay you, because I'm facing an unknown danger. You know, in this world, the unknown danger is the most terrible. It's hard to say whether I can come back or not. Well, let's not talk about this. Then, you accompany me. Let's go out and have fun. Let's leave a good memory. Is that okay? Zhao Ying didn't want to argue with Yang Ming. Anyway, there were other ways. They would stay in the same room at night. She wasn't afraid that Yang Ming wouldn't take the bait. Zhao Ying was a little proud. Can't I just use a little trick? Why argue with Yang Ming now? That's fine. Yang Ming listened to Zhao Ying, so he nodded. Sister Ying, then let's have fun. This spring outing will be a good memory for you and me. Wait for me. Our economics graduate student supervisor is here. I'll talk to her. I'll follow your car. Zhao Ying saw that the economics graduate students were gathering, so she said to Yang Ming and got out of the car. And then I'll wait for you here. Yang Ming didn't dare to get out of the car because he had already seen Chen Mengyan. At this moment, Chen Mengyan was in the group of economics undergraduate students. She was organizing something. Little Wang saw Zhao Ying get out of the car, then he threw the cigarette butt in his hand into the trash can and returned to the car again. However, he still didn't say a word. Little Wang, I may go out after a while. It will probably be a long time. Yang Ming thought about it and said to Little Wang, when you come back from this spring outing, you go to my dad's place and drive for my dad. Brother Yang. Little Wang was slightly stunned. He didn't expect Yang Ming to ask him to drive for Yang Ming's father. What does this mean? Does he trust me or not? Normally, if Yang Ming didn't trust me and didn't want to use me, he would find a reason to replace me. He would never arrange to drive for his father again. However, if he trusted me, why didn't he let me stay by his side? When you go out, you have to come back, right? It wasn't that Yang Ming hadn't gone out before. Then, why this time, Little Wang, don't think too much. This time, I may be away for a long time. 1 year, 2 years. It's hard to say. Yang Ming naturally wouldn't tell Little Wang too many details because Yang Ming might not come back at all. So, he deliberately said a long time. So, during this time, you go to my dad's place and drive. When I come back, you come back with me. Is that so? Okay. Little Wang was relieved when he heard Yang Ming say so. Since Yang Ming was away for a year or two, he certainly couldn't be idle for a year or two. When Yang Ming was gone, following Yang Ming's father was one of the closest people to Yang Ming. His position in the company wouldn't change, and no one would look down on him because he was gone. Yang Ming also said that when he came back, he could still follow him. This was what made Little Wang the happiest. As for Xiaolu's side, I will inform her. You just need to do things well. Yang Ming thought that Little Wang was a good person, so he arranged a way out for him in advance. Zhao Ying ran to the gathering place of the economics department at the school entrance. When she was about to say hello to her supervisor, she saw Chen Mengyan, and Chen Mengyan also saw her. Sister Ying. Chen Mengyan saw Zhao Ying and greeted her warmly. Since the last misunderstanding was clarified, Chen Mengyan felt a little guilty toward Zhao Ying. Mengyan. Zhao Ying was shocked. Right, why didn't I think of it? Chen Mengyan is also in the economics department. She is also participating in this spring outing. Her boyfriend is sitting in the car and waiting for me at the moment. Thinking of this, Zhao Ying's face suddenly blushed. She was a little overwhelmed. Although Chen Mengyan couldn't know that Yang Ming was waiting for her in the car behind, Zhao Ying still felt like a thief in her heart. It was as if she stole Chen Mengyan's things. Sister Ying, let's go together in a while. Do you want to take our car? Chen Mengyan was very enthusiastic and greeted Zhao Ying. No need. I will go with my friend. After all, I am a graduate student. Zhao Ying explained nervously. Chapter 1825. That's true. Chen Mengyan didn't think much and nodded. You have your classmates. Then, let's contact each other on the phone when we reach the hotel. Let's go out and play together tonight. Okay. Zhao Ying responded awkwardly. Mengyan, our tutor is here. I'll go and inform him. You go ahead with your work. After that, Zhao Ying hurriedly ran away. She didn't dare to stay here any longer. Oh, then Sister Ying, you go ahead. Chen Mengyan was somewhat inexplicable. Why is Zhao Ying in such a hurry today? Could it be that something happened? But, what could be the matter? Chen Mengyao looked at Zhao Ying's back with some doubts and frowned. Zhao Ying quickly found her tutor. Teacher Li, my friend has a car. I'm leaving with him. Okay, you register. After our bus leaves, you can just follow behind. The license plate of the bus is Song B1298, said Teacher Li. Zhao Ying quickly registered and was about to leave. When she turned around and saw Fan Jinja walking towards her, she frowned. Zhao Ying, you're here? I finally found you. Fan Jinja saw Zhao Ying and said excitedly. Why are you looking for me? Zhao Ying naturally didn't want to talk to Fan Jinja. Zhao Ying, are you alone today? You didn't come with Sun Jia and your so-called online boyfriend? Fan Jinja looked around and didn't see Sun Jia. Fan Jinja, what do you want? Zhao Ying didn't want to answer Fan Jinja's question. Nothing. I guessed that you came alone. Let's go. Take my car. Let's go together. Fan Jinja smiled and invited Zhao Ying. I came with my boyfriend. There is no need. Zhao Ying shook her head. If there is nothing else, I will leave first. Hey, wait. Fan Jinja did not believe Zhao Ying's words. Zhao Ying, why are you so stubborn? Why don't you think about it? You made a fake boyfriend. Do you think you can fool me? Fan Jinja, it's up to you whether you want to believe it or not. I'm leaving. After that, Zhao Ying turned around and ran in the direction of Yang Ming's car. Fan Jinja wanted to chase after her, but he had not registered yet. He could only let Zhao Ying run away first. However, as long as he could see where Zhao Ying went, he was not afraid that she would run away. Seeing Zhao Ying get into a black Audi A8L sedan, Fan Jinja was a little surprised. When did Zhao Ying know such a rich person? A 8L, that is more than 1 million yuan. It is much more expensive than my Honda Accord. Fan Jinja frowned and decided to follow and see what Zhao Ying was up to. At this time, Chen Mengyan also saw Zhao Ying running to a black Audi A8L and then getting into the car. She was a little confused. When did Zhao Ying get such a high-end car? She wanted to see who was sitting in the car, but after a few glances, she found that the car was completely covered with a black film. She could not see the driver's seat and the situation behind. Moreover, it was difficult to see the situation inside the car at such a distance. She could only vaguely see that the license plate was Song BK9999. The license plate was quite good. Zhao Ying got into the car and breathed a sigh of relief. Fan Jinja is pestering me again. Oh. Doesn't he want to have another wraith possession? Yang Ming laughed. You still dare to say that? He was scared to death last time, Zhao Ying remembered that Fan Jinja was cheated by Yang Ming last time. He hid at home and did not dare to come to school. He even went to several masters to exorcise ghosts. In the end, his money was wasted and he was tortured. This Yang Ming is really bad. He cheated me once, and now he wants to cheat me a second time? If he provokes me again, I don't mind him having another wraith possession. Yang Ming smiled faintly. Although Chen Mengyan was a little puzzled as to why Zhao Ying suddenly ran into a luxury car, this was not her family's business after all. She was just curious. She could not interfere with Zhao Ying's private affairs. So after seeing that Zhao Ying had entered the car and could not see the people in the car, Chen Mengyan's attention turned back and did not continue to pay attention to the car. However, Fan Jinja had been paying attention to Zhao Ying's car. After quickly registering his name with the tutor, he quickly ran to Zhao Ying's Audi A8L. He wanted to see who was in the car and if there was a so-called Zhao Ying's boyfriend. Fan Jinja, he is running over. Zhao Ying looked at the person running in front of the car and said to Yang Ming helplessly. I will go down and deal with him. Yang Ming did not take Fan Jinja seriously. Don't. Zhao Ying pulled Yang Ming, don't go down. What's wrong? Yang Ming was stunned. Just now, Chen Mengyan saw me, and she should have seen me go back into this car. If you get out of the car and Chen Mengyan sees you, what will you do? Zhao Ying asked. This. Yang Ming did not expect Chen Mengyan to notice the car. He smiled bitterly, then we will not go down and see what he wants to do. Zhao Ying nodded. This was the only way. Dang dang dang. Fan Jinja ran over and knocked on the Audi A8L's window unceremoniously. He could not bear it anymore. He must see who was in the car. Brother Yang, do you want me to go down and drive this kid away? Little Wang also heard the conversation between Yang Ming and Zhao Ying. He knew that Yang Ming could not get out of the car and had some scruples, so he volunteered. Okay, you can go and drive him away. Yang Ming had forgotten about Little Wang. Little Wang used to be the captain of the security team, and he was quite skilled. It should be more than enough to drive Fan Jinja away. Little Wang opened the door and got out of the car. He pushed Fan Jinja away. Are you crazy? Why are you knocking? Do you want to be beaten up? Yang Ming. It's you. Fan Jinja's eyes were good at the moment Little Wang opened the door. He saw Yang Ming sitting in the back seat at a glance. He suddenly became furious. Get out of the car. I have been looking for you for a long time. Fan Jinja wanted to take revenge on Yang Ming after he was tricked by Yang Ming last time. However, he could not find Yang Ming. He looked for people in the underworld several times to stop Yang Ming at school and teach him a lesson. However, he could not find him even after several attempts. Fan Jinja could only give up. Later, he found out that Yang Ming had not come to school for several months. He was a little frustrated. It seems that I can't stop Yang Ming even if I want to. Fan Jinja could only give up the idea for the time being. However, he did not expect to see Yang Ming here. Moreover, he was sitting in the same car as Zhao Ying. Is he Zhao Ying's so-called boyfriend? Thinking of this, Fan Jinja immediately became furious. He pointed inside the car and shouted. Chapter 1826. Bang! Little Wang didn't give him much time and closed the door directly. The soundproofing of the car was still very good. Cursing outside the car couldn't be heard inside. Are you not leaving? If you're not leaving, let's find a place to practice. Come on. Little Wang grabbed Fan Jinja's collar, lifted him up, and threw him on the side of the road. Don't you like to knock on cars? Come, let me try knocking on your car. You dare to touch me? Don't you know who I am? If you dare to touch me today, I promise you will regret it. Fan Jinja was still a little afraid of Little Wang. This guy had a big waist. If they were to fight, Fan Jinja was definitely not his opponent. Therefore, Fan Jinja threatened Little Wang with a strong front. I don't know, but you knocked on my car and scolded my boss. You're asking for a beating. Little Wang said, do you want to fight back and let's fight, or hold your head and let me beat you? You dare. Of course, Fan Jinja didn't want to do either. He would be at a disadvantage no matter which choice he made. Since he was at a disadvantage, why should he choose? Why wouldn't I dare? Since you don't choose, then I'll take it as a yes. Little Wang said as he raised his fist and began to beat Fan Jinja. Yang Ming, isn't he going a little overboard? The mentor is still in front. Zhao Ying saw Little Wang beating Fan Jinja and was a little worried. Besides, it's not good to fight, right? You're just too kind. If you don't beat this kind of person, he will take advantage of you, just like Jin Gang in the past. Yang Ming said, a wicked person needs to be dealt with by another wicked person. Look, Jin Gang didn't harass you after this, right? How honest is he? Isn't it because he is scared of me? Zhao Ying was a little speechless. As Yang Ming's former teacher, she actually didn't approve of Yang Ming using violence to solve things, but in some cases, she had to admit that violence was effective. If he just tried to reason with her, it might not work at all. Just like what Yang Ming said, Jin Gang back then, he had rejected him many times, but he still kept nagging and pestering him. His earnest persuasion was not as effective as Yang Ming's punches and kicks. But, this isn't good, right? Zhao Ying still couldn't convince herself to condone Yang Ming using violence. Then don't look. Close your eyes. As Yang Ming spoke, he reached out and covered Zhao Ying's eyes. Zhao Ying wanted to avoid it, but he accidentally touched Zhao Ying's cherry lips. Zhao Ying exclaimed and blushed. She didn't dare to look up at Yang Ming. Why am I so timid again? Zhao Ying felt a little resentment in her heart. What happened to the bold words that I said in my excitement? Previously, Zhao Ying was in a hurry, and she seemed to be a different person. She said such bold and decisive words, but after a short time, she was a little timid again. Even when Yang Ming touched her lips, she was shy. Can I still make such a bold decision at night? Zhao Ying was still Zhao Ying. Although she was impulsive for a while, her essential character had not changed. Just when Yang Ming touched her lips, she began to think about these things. Can't I be firm one more time? Think about it. In the scene just now, if it were Wang Xiaoyan or Sun Jia, I am afraid that they would take the opportunity to kiss Yang Ming's fingers, and then maybe the two people would naturally kiss together. What am I thinking about? Zhao Ying was a little shy. She felt that she actually began to think about such shameful things, but these were also what she was thinking in her heart. Just when Zhao Ying was worrying about her gains and losses, the door opened again, and little Wang returned to the car. Fan Jinja, who was beaten black and blue, fell to the side of the road. He glared at little Wang's Audi A8L fiercely, and his eyes were full of resentment. Yang Ming, I will not let you go. You wait for me, I will make you die a horrible death. After Fan Jinja finished scolding, he didn't care if Yang Ming heard him. He got up from the ground and ran quickly to his accord. In fact, although Yang Ming couldn't hear what he said, he could understand what he meant by reading his lips. However, Yang Ming just laughed it off. In this world, there were many people who wanted him dead. Now, he was still alive, and most of those who wanted him dead were already dead. After Fan Jinja returned to his car, he didn't stay idle. He directly took out his phone and dialed a number. Hello? Is this Brother Zhadong? I am Fan Jinja. Said Fan Jinja. Little Fan, what's the matter? Asked Brother Zhadong on the other side of the phone. This person's surname was Niu, and his name was Niu Zhadong. He was the owner of a car repair shop, but he didn't do a proper business. He had a group of henchmen who made money by cheating and dominating the market every day. Of course, if the other party paid a lot of money, he didn't mind acting as a revenge company and let his henchmen help the other party fight. In short, Niu Zhadong was half an underworld figure. Last time, Fan Jinja found Niu Zhadong to block Yang Ming, but he didn't manage to do it. However, Fan Jinja was very generous. Not only did he pay Niu Zhadong's service fee, but he also treated Niu Zhadong to a meal. Therefore, Niu Zhadong had a good impression of Fan Jinja. He always felt that it was a little uneasy to take someone's money and not help them. He was thinking about how to repay Fan Jinja. Brother Zhadong, I have something to trouble you with this time. Said Fan Jinja. Oh. Little Fan, what do you need? Just tell me. You and I have a good relationship. As long as I can do it, there is no problem. Niu Zhadong patted his chest and agreed. Brother Zhadong, thank you in advance. You can rest assured that there will definitely be a reward for you, said Fan Jinja. The reward is secondary. I mainly want to be your brother and help you. Niu Zhadong was overjoyed after hearing Fan Jinja's words. There is a reward this time? Originally, Niu Zhadong thought that it was just a simple help this time. Then I will say it. The matter is like this. It is the person I asked you to help me block last time. Fan Jinja explained, he has appeared now. In a while, we will go to Donghai. When we leave the city, we will pass by your car repair shop. At that time, help me block a car. No problem. I am the best at this kind of thing. I promise to make him stop. Niu Zhadong smiled and asked, what car? What's the license plate number? Nyojadon often threw a pile of iron nails near the highway out of the city. After the car passed by the highway with a flat tire, he would go to his car repair shop to fix the tire so that he could profit from it. Therefore, as long as he wanted to stop a car, no car could escape. Chapter 1827. That's great. Fan Jinja said happily when he heard that Nyojadon had a solution. Their car is an Audi A8L. The license plate number is Song BK9999. I will find a way to stop their car for a while, and then lead them to your place. Okay. Nyojadon responded, when you are almost there, give me a call. I will scatter the iron nails. There is one more thing. I need Brother Jadon's help. Fan Jinja hesitated and said. What is it? Just say it. Nyojadon promised. The man in the car is the one I asked you to help me block last time, and the woman in the car is the person I like. Fan Jinja said, Brother Jadon, can you see if there is any way for us to be together? You want to play a hero saving the beauty? Nyojadon asked, no problem. I am good at this. When we are done with the man and ready to humiliate the woman, you can come forward bravely. I will let my men cooperate with you to act. When the time comes, you can easily defeat my men and then show off your invincible might and save that woman. Who knows, maybe she will repay you with her body. Is that so? Fan Jinja was a little tempted by Nyojadon's words. However, isn't this too fake? There are so many thugs. Not to mention that Yang Ming has Little Wang as his driver. Even without Little Wang, Yang Ming and Zhao Ying together can't beat those thugs. Can I show my power to beat those thugs alone? Is this possible? Moreover, I have just been beaten up by Little Wang. Obviously, I don't have any skills. How can I beat those thugs? At that time, I will be exposed. Not only will Zhao Ying not give herself to me, but she will also despise me. Thinking of this, Fan Jinja said, forget it, Brother Jadon. That is too fake. I can't beat your men alone. Don't go for wool and come home shorn, and make things worse. You are right, but I can't think of any other good ideas besides this. Nyojadon's cultural level was low. This was the only way he could think of, and there were no other good ideas. Let me think about it. How about this? Fan Jinja rolled his eyes and came up with a bad idea. At that time, puncture my tires too. Then, we will go to your place to fix the tires. You pretend that you don't know me, and I am also a victim, and so on and so forth. Fan Jinja told Nyojadon's plan his plan while he was talking. I am really a genius. I can even come up with such a brilliant idea. Too amazing. Brilliant. Brilliant. That's awesome. That's it. That is. That is. It. It's settled then. I'll do it when the time comes. Fan Jinja sneered and hung up the phone. From the rearview mirror of the car, he saw Yang Ming's Audi A8L not far away. Fan Jinja muttered to himself, I will show you in a while. Let's see if you can still show off in front of me. At 9:00 in the morning, all the people who participated in the spring outing had arrived. Those who drove and those who took the bus had already settled down. The 3 buses opened the road in front, and the students who drove their own cars followed behind. It was fine as long as they did not overtake the buses. The 3 buses started slowly, and the row of private cars behind them slowly followed. It had to be said that there were quite a lot of rich graduate students in the economics department. Many of them had private cars. Even if they did not belong to them, they belonged to their friends or family members. Although there were not many good cars, and most of them were around 70 to 80,000 yuan, it was better to have a car than not to have one. Brother Yang, do we follow? Little Wang saw the buses start and asked Yang Ming. Wait. We will follow at the back. Yang Ming hesitated and said. He was afraid that if he followed too close, he would be discovered by Chen Mengyan. In fact, this was just worrying for nothing. Chen Mengyan was in the bus, and it was impossible for her to always look back at the cars behind. However, Yang Ming and Zhao Ying felt more at ease if they were further away. Okay. Xiao Wang didn't ask any more questions. He just nodded and agreed. When the buses were almost gone, little Wang started the car and followed at the back of the convoy. Donghai Haiyue Resort. Little Wang already knew the address, so he was not afraid of getting lost. Even if he could not keep up, there would be no problem. What's more, little Wang's car was the best in the convoy, so it was impossible to lose track. Fan Jinja was still thinking about how to drag Yang Ming's car to the back of the convoy. He could only carry out his plan when he was at the back of the convoy. Otherwise, after Brother Zhadong scattered the iron nails, it would not only be Yang Ming's car that had its tires punctured. There would be a row of cars. Then, his plan would not be easy to carry out. Now, when Fan Jinja saw that Yang Ming's car actually took the initiative to move to the back of the convoy, he was overjoyed. God is really helping me. I can't even think of a way, but Yang Ming is good. He ran to the back of the convoy himself. This way, I can leave Yang Ming's car in Brother Zhadong's repair shop without much effort. Thinking of this, Fan Jinja could not help but whistle happily. Yang Ming, oh Yang Ming, man proposes but God disposes. Although I don't know why you drove to the back of the convoy, I don't need to know the reason. I just need to know that you will be bedridden for half a month because of Brother Zhadong. Zhao Ying is about to become my woman. These are enough. Yang Ming naturally did not know about Fan Jinja's plan. But even if he knew, he would laugh it off because in Yang Ming's eyes, Fan Jinja's plan was simply a brainless plan. The car drove on the road. Little Wang's skills were very stable. He followed the convoy in front of him at a distance, not allowing himself to fall behind or overtake the cars in front. Yang Ming, Meng Yan just asked me to go to an event tonight. Zhao Ying suddenly remembered that Chen Mengyan asked her to go out at night. Oh. Yang Ming naturally did not want Zhao Ying to see Chen Mengyan at this moment. In this case, it was best not to see her. After all, he was with Zhao Ying. There was a risk of being exposed if they met. Sister Ying, you should find an excuse to decline. It's better not to go. I'm afraid that it will cause unnecessary trouble if you go. Yang Ming hesitated and said. I think so too. Zhao Ying nodded. But even if I avoid tonight, there is still another day tomorrow. I'm afraid that Meng Yan will still come to me. Chapter 1828. Let's avoid her for today first. We'll talk about tomorrow's matter tomorrow. Yang Ming was optimistic. Maybe we can go back tomorrow. Well, I'll think of an excuse tonight to reject her, said Zhao Ying. As the two of them were talking, little Wang suddenly slowed down the speed of the car. He hesitated for a moment and said, Brother Yang, the Honda Accord in front of us is always in front of us. It's driving S road and won't let us overtake it. Oh? What does he want to do? Yang Ming was stunned. Did you provoke him before? The reason why Yang Ming asked this was because there were often disputes between vehicles on the road. For example, whoever was faster would stop the other person. The person who was stopped would naturally be unhappy. He would do everything possible to create trouble for the person who stopped him. Blocking the road in front was a common way to vent, so Yang Ming subconsciously asked little Wang. No, I have been driving steadily. That Accord didn't have any movements before. It was only after we entered the highway out of the city that it began to wander in front. Little Wang said, Brother Yang, there is something I want to say, go ahead. Yang Ming nodded. Previously, that brat who knocked on cars ran towards a Honda Accord after I beat him up. He was a little far away, so I couldn't see the license plate clearly. I don't know if it was this one, but I suspect that this car belongs to that brat. He's purposely loitering in front to cause trouble. Little Wang analyzed. Oh. Yang Ming looked up with interest and used his special ability to look inside the Accord in front. Sure enough, he saw that the driver of this car was Fan Jinja. However, Yang Ming naturally couldn't say anything about his special ability. Yang Ming said, that license plate number should be Fan Jinja's. I seem to remember it was this number last time. That's right. What does this guy want to do? Little Wang was a little annoyed. He honked twice and turned on the high beam to flash Fan Jinja's car in front. However, Fan Jinja didn't seem to hear or see it at all. He was still wandering in front leisurely. This was the old road to Donghai. There was no need to pay a toll, but because the road was not good, they couldn't walk too fast. However, the 3 buses in front weren't driving fast either. They probably chose to take this old route to save money. There were not many cars on this old road now. Even if Fan Jinja was wandering in front, there was only Yang Ming's car behind him. Let him be. Don't bother about him. Yang Ming instructed Xiao Wang, there's no need to be angry with this kind of person. Let's see what he's up to. Yes, Brother Yang. Little Wang nodded. Since Yang Ming said so, he wouldn't do anything else even though he was annoyed. He just slowly followed behind Fan Jinja's Accord, waiting for an opportunity to overtake him. Fan Jinja swayed the steering wheel left and right in front of him. He was very happy. Listening to the horn behind him and looking at the flashing lights in the rearview mirror, Fan Jinja thought to himself, aren't you awesome? Can you overtake me? Hold it in for a while. Let's see if you're in a hurry. Fan Jinja was sure that Yang Ming wouldn't dare to fight head-on. After all, they were going to Donghai. If there was a car accident on the road, no matter who was right or wrong, they would have to wait for the traffic police to come up with a question and the insurance company to settle the claim. This wasn't something that could be solved in a short time. Everything would be delayed by then. So, Yang Ming could only sulk and didn't dare to overtake by force. Fan Jinja was very happy when he saw the Audi A8L behind him honking and flashing its headlights for a while. Humph, are you scared? If you can't overtake me, you can only bear with it. Fan Jinja proudly called Brother Zhadon again. Brother Zhadon, we'll be there soon. I'm still in the Honda Accord, and the Audi A8L is behind me. Get ready on your side. After getting a positive answer from Brother Zhadon, Fan Jinja hung up the phone and pretended not to notice. He turned the car to the left, leaving a large space for overtaking on the right. Little Wang had been waiting for an opportunity to overtake. At this time, he suddenly saw the Accord in front make a mistake. How could Fan Jinja give up this good opportunity? He stepped on the accelerator and the car flew out like a sharp sword, directly overtaking the Accord in front. Wait. Yang Ming wanted to stop Little Wang, but Little Wang had already overtaken him as soon as he opened his mouth. It was too late. Yang Ming could only sigh, I finally overtook him. Phew. That's awesome. This kid can be so cocky, but there will be times when he makes a mistake, right? Little Wang was a little proud, but he suddenly remembered what Yang Ming said before and quickly asked, Brother Yang, what did you mean by asking me to wait? Puff. Puff. Just as Little Wang was speaking, the car suddenly shook a few times, accompanied by 2 muffled sounds. Little Wang, who was driving, suddenly changed his expression. He also felt that something was wrong, so he quickly slowed down the car and carefully parked the car in the emergency parking lane by the roadside. Now you know why I asked you to wait. Yang Ming smiled bitterly. I know, the car seems to have a flat tire. Little Wang smiled bitterly. Brother Yang, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I was too eager to overtake and didn't see the road in front. Forget it, it's nothing. Yang Ming shook his head and didn't mean to blame Little Wang. Brother Yang, then I'll go and see the situation first. Little Wang said as he got out of the car. Puff. Puff, just as Little Wang opened the door and got out of the car, there were 2 more sounds behind him. Little Wang looked up and couldn't help but be happy. Fan Jinja's car also had a flat tire. Brother Yang, that kid's car also had a flat tire. Look at how cocky he was. Look at what happened now. He also had a flat tire. Little Wang said excitedly to Yang Ming. Really? Yang Ming frowned. How can things be so coincidental? All of this is a bit too unreasonable. If it was a normal day, it would still be possible for a tire to be punctured by nails on the road, but today. First, Fan Jinja's car was blocking my car all the way in front. Then, he suddenly left a gap for Little Wang to overtake. Little Wang's tire burst after overtaking. The key problem is that after Little Wang's tire burst, Fan Jinja's car also had a flat tire. Is there such a coincidence? Yang Ming naturally didn't believe it. Soon, Little Wang checked the situation of the car and couldn't help but complain, Brother Yang, it's really strange. I don't know which bastard scattered nails on the road, but the right front and left rear wheels of the car are all punctured. Yang Ming saw the nails scattered on the road before, so even if Little Wang didn't say it, Yang Ming was very clear about it. This was also the reason why Yang Ming was suspicious. Chapter 1829. Yang Ming was a little suspicious when Fan Jinja suddenly gave way, so he used his special ability to explore the road ahead. He found that there were nails on the road and wanted Little Wang to wait, but it was too late, therefore, Little Wang couldn't be blamed for this. Little Wang couldn't see the nails on the road without his special ability, and he had been suppressed by Fan Jinja. Of course, he would overtake Fan Jinja as soon as there was a chance. Yang Ming couldn't blame him for this. Yang Ming turned his head and coincidentally saw a broken iron plate on the side of the road. A few words were written on it. There is a car repair shop 500 meters ahead, specialized in towing cars and fixing tires. Contact number XXXXX. This strange repair license plate further confirmed Yang Ming's guess. These iron nails on the road were not placed here by accident, but for a reason. This reason might be for this unscrupulous repair shop to generate revenue, but now, it was very likely to be related to Fan Jinja. When Little Wang overtook Fan Jinja, he overtook Fan Jinja by a long distance before the tire burst. There was no reason for Fan Jinja not to see all this. He saw it, but he didn't stop. Instead, he ran over the nails and got a tire burst. Wasn't this strange? If this had nothing to do with Fan Jinja and he didn't plan it, then Fan Jinja was a retard. Only a retard would do such a retard thing. However, before Yang Ming said anything, Little Wang walked over to Fan Jinja. He must have been holding back his anger on the road, but he couldn't vent it in the car. Now that Fan Jinja finally stopped the car, Little Wang wanted to avenge his humiliation. Kid, get out of the car. After Little Wang walked over, he pulled Fan Jinja's car door. Now that Fan Jinja's car had a tire burst, he was not afraid that Fan Jinja would run away. Brother, let's talk nicely. Fan Jinja was really a little scared of Little Wang. This guy was trained and was very skillful in beating people up. He could beat you until you were in pain, but there were no major injuries. How would Fan Jinja dare to get out of the car? Wouldn't he be asking for a beating if he got out of the car? What's there to talk about? I asked you what you were doing just now. Why were you hovering in front? Did you not get enough of the beating just now? Little Wang stared at Fan Jinja and asked. Brother. I was wrong. I was upset because I was beaten up, so I wanted to take revenge. Please don't mind. Fan Jinja quickly gave in. A wise man knows when the odds are against him. There will be opportunities to teach this Little Wang a lesson later. Do you know that if it wasn't for you, my car wouldn't have a flat tire? Xiao Wang was not so kind. Stop dawdling and get out of the car, or I'll smash your car too. A. Little Wang was a little hesitant after hearing Fan Jinja's words. Fan Jinja was right. The most important thing now was to quickly fix the tire, not get angry with him here. Brother Yang still had to go to Donghai. He couldn't delay the important matter because of this small matter. However, little Wang was still a little unwilling to let Fan Jinja go. All of this was caused by him. How could he let this person off so easily? Brother, how about this? I will pay for the towing and tire repair later. Is that okay? Fan Jinja hesitated and said, if it still doesn't work, I'll let you beat me up when we get there. Anyway, we are staying in the same resort. You can run away, but you can't run away. My car is parked there. Since Fan Jinja had said so, little Wang really couldn't say anything else. Okay, let's fix the car first. It depends on your performance. No problem, brother. I'll make the call now. Fan Jinja thought, when we get to the repair factory later, we won't know who will beat who up. I'll let you be proud for a while. We'll see, you big idiot. Fan Jinja took out his phone and dialed the number on the iron sign on the roadside. Then he said, we got a puncture on the way out of the city. Do you have a tow truck? Hurry up, I'm not far from your advertising sign. After hanging up the phone, Fan Jinja said to little Wang, okay, it's done. Just wait here. Little Wang nodded and didn't say anything. He went straight back to Yang Ming's car. Brother Yang, that kid called for a tow truck. Let's wait for a while. Then wait for a while. Yang Ming also wanted to see what Fan Jinja was up to. Why did he become so proactive? He even helped to call for a tow truck. Brother Yang, if you are in a hurry, I can call the company and ask them to send another tow truck over. Can we get 2 spare tires to change? Little Wang suggested. No need, let's wait. Yang Ming waved his hand. This incident was obviously caused by Fan Jinja, so Yang Ming also wanted to see what this guy was up to. Fan Jinja had to be dealt with sooner or later. Otherwise, this guy would always harass Zhao Ying. If Fan Jinja didn't get the chance this time, he would definitely find another opportunity. So Yang Ming might as well wait and see. Anyway, Yang Ming wasn't afraid of him. He wanted to see what tricks Fan Jinja was up to and then intimidate this guy. Okay. Little Wang naturally listened to Yang Ming and nodded. He stood beside the car and smoked while waiting for the tow truck to come over. Zhao Ying didn't expect to encounter such an unlucky incident on the road. She naturally didn't think that this was done by Fan Jinja, but she thought of a part of it. Yang Ming, someone scattered nails all over the road, and there is a car repair shop's billboard next to these nails, telling us that there is a tire repair shop not far ahead. I think this is a bit too much of a coincidence, right? I think it might be done deliberately by the people at the car repair shop. They want us to go there to fix the tires. It was normal for Zhao Ying to have such doubts. Similar things were reported in newspapers and on the internet. Many people relied on this to generate income. Otherwise, if the car repair shops on the side of the highway really relied on legitimate business to make money, they would probably have to close down. It was just that this kind of thing was done very secretly. Even if you encountered it, it was difficult to find evidence to prove that the nails were scattered. Most people who traveled the highway were in a hurry to go to other places, so they were too lazy to take it seriously. When encountering such a thing, they would treat it as spending money to avoid disaster. They would spend money to buy a lesson and admit that they were unlucky. It's not a possibility, it's a certainty. Think about it. Besides them, who would be so wicked to throw nails on the highway? Isn't this harming others without benefiting themselves? Yang Ming smiled. For them, it's harming others to benefit themselves. Chapter 1830. That's true, but why isn't anyone managing it? This is also considered an illegal operation. They should be banned. Zhao Ying nodded and said with some indignation. It's easy to ban them, but the key is that there is no evidence. Yang Ming shook his head. Who can watch here 24 hours a day to see if it is their people who come to scatter the nails? Most of them are in a hurry, so no one keeps an eye on them. Then we should just let them get away with it and cheat others? Although Zhao Ying agreed with Yang Ming's reason, she was still somewhat indignant. Then I will smash their repair shop in a while. Yang Ming smiled. Although it is just a repair shop, there may be many such black-hearted repair shops. However, if we can solve one, it is one. Then it's better not to. This kind of thing is best left to the Industry and Commerce Department to investigate. Don't be a hero. Zhao Ying didn't want Yang Ming to cause trouble. When we were in school, didn't I tell you that it is good to be a good Samaritan, but you can't stick your head out? In this case, you can get the evidence and report it, instead of doing it yourself, heh. Yang Ming smiled and pulled Zhao Ying's hand. Yes, Miss Zhao. What are you doing? Yang Ming, why are you holding the teacher's hand? Zhao Ying's face was red. She was still embarrassed to be called a teacher by Yang Ming. Haven't you heard of a game called role-playing? Yang Ming smiled evilly. Actually, I like your teacher's identity, Yang Ming, you don't mess around. Zhao Ying's heart tightened. She was a little embarrassed by Yang Ming's words. Although she had made up her mind to cross the hurdle in her heart and be together with Yang Ming, when Yang Ming mentioned their previous identities again, Zhao Ying was still a little overwhelmed. She was a little disappointed. Yang Ming didn't treat her as his classmate after all. In his heart, she was still his teacher. But Yang Ming's next sentence made Zhao Ying very embarrassed. Role-playing? Like the identity of a teacher? Zhao Ying had grown up. Naturally, she was not as pure as a piece of white paper. Although she had not seen it in person, she had seen it on the internet. In some adult movies, there was a role of a female teacher, and it seemed to be very popular. Zhao Ying was naturally happy that Yang Ming liked her. But if it was role-playing, Zhao Ying was a little embarrassed. Hee, I'm just saying. Yang Ming smiled and said, Sister Ying, in fact, let me tell you. In the beginning, the boys in the school liked you more than Meng Yan. You were everyone's dream lover. Really? Don't talk nonsense. Although Zhao Ying said so, she was very happy in her heart. For a long time, Chen Mengyan was a sore point for Zhao Ying. She always felt that she was not as good as Chen Mengyan, and she could not achieve the irreplaceable position in Yang Ming's heart like Chen Mengyan. But when she heard Yang Ming say that she was the dream lover of the boys in the school at that time, she couldn't help but ask, what about you? Me too. Yang Ming admitted without hiding, and my first time was given to you, Sister Ying. Huh? Zhao Ying was stunned. What first time? Yang Ming and I, how can there be a first time? The two of them had never had any excessive physical contact, let alone the first time. Could it be that he was not referring to the first time? Could it be the first kiss? That's not right. My kiss with him was completely an accident. We fell down from the rock climbing of the temple fair. That was not a kiss at all. Moreover, even if it was a kiss, it should be the first time with Chen Mengyan. Right, I heard that there was also a little girl named Lan Ling. So the first time. How can there be a first time? Just when Zhao Ying had some doubts, Yang Ming explained to her, sometimes, when I can't sleep at night, I fantasize about your body, and then I masturbate. Anyway, there was no one else in the car. It was just Yang Ming and Zhao Ying, so Yang Ming didn't mind telling his embarrassing story. Masturbate? Zhao Ying was stunned, and then her face blushed. How could she not understand what Yang Ming's so-called masturbate meant? Even if there was a brief doubt at the beginning, Zhao Ying still understood the meaning of such an obvious phrase. Yang Ming, what are you talking about? Hee. Yang Ming laughed twice. My first fantasy object was you, Sister Ying. Zhao Ying had a feeling of not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Did I become this guy's fantasy object before? Thinking of Yang Ming hiding in her room on a dark and windy night, doing that kind of thing with a smirk. Zhao Ying felt a chill. Ruining my image. However, Although Zhao Ying felt that Yang Ming was a bit shameless, she didn't have much resistance in her heart. Instead, she was a little happy. Zhao Ying wanted to ask, "Tonight, do you want to turn your fantasy into reality?" But Zhao Ying couldn't ask. Her previous boldness was only forced out in a moment of desperation. But now, Zhao Ying had regained her previous reserved character. She couldn't ask such a bold question. "Well, don't talk about these things in the future." Zhao Ying looked at Yang Ming helplessly. If Meng Yan heard it, she would be worried. Heh. Yang Ming smiled. Before, although Yang Ming and Zhao Ying had talked about some things and laid their cards on the table, maybe because they hadn't seen each other for too long, there was always an indescribable feeling of estrangement between them. It couldn't be seen or touched, but it really felt that something was wrong. Because the topic of the two people had never been relaxed, it was either talking about serious things, or it was silent and awkward. Yang Ming racked his brain and finally made such a half-naked embarrassing thing to expose. The relationship between the two people became closer in an instant, and the ambiguous feeling from a long time ago came back unknowingly. As the two people were talking, a trailer drove over not far away. Yang Ming and Zhao Ying also stopped talking and got out of the car. At this time, a young man wearing a skeleton vest ran down from the trailer. At first glance, he didn't look like a good person. He belonged to the gang of gangsters, but Yang Ming didn't despise these people because he used to be similar to them. It was just that Yang Ming didn't do things that preyed on the people. Instead, he would stand up for some of the weak. This was the essential difference between Yang Ming and those people, so Yang Ming got a gift from God when he acted bravely for a just cause. A pair of X-ray glasses, but this skeleton vest didn't. Chapter 1831. Boss, did you call for a tow truck? I'm from Niu Lao San's auto repair center. The skeleton vest walked over with a smile and said to Little Wang. Before Little Wang could speak, Fan Jinja quickly crawled over. It's me. I made the call. Our tires were punctured by nails. Can you fix them? No problem. Isn't that a piece of cake? The man in the skull vest smiled. Please drive the car to the trailer. Although the tires were punctured, it was impossible for them to explode into pieces like a balloon. After the tires were punctured, it would take some time for the air to leak. It would not be a problem to drive forward for a while. So it was possible to drive the car to the tow truck. Little Wang and Fan Jinja drove the car to the tow truck respectively. The skeleton vest rubbed his hands and looked at Yang Ming and others. You guys get in the car too, but the driver's seat is not enough. You can only make do with the tow truck. But we'll be there soon. It's not far ahead. As the skeleton vest spoke, he pointed his finger not far away and said, Let's go. Yang Ming nodded and got into the tow truck. The nails on the road were most likely scattered by the people from Niu Lao San's auto repair center. Although Yang Ming had no evidence, this kind of thing could be seen. However, Yang Ming was in a hurry. He did not have time to tangle with these people over such a small matter, so he treated it as spending money to buy some peace. Soon, the tow truck drove into a repair shop on the roadside. The repair shop's yard was very large, but there were only a few broken and scrapped vehicles inside. There was not even a single car that was being repaired here. But it was not surprising. This repair shop was located in such a remote place. It would be strange if there were cars here for repair. Who would send their cars here for repair? If the car was left here, how would they go back? Would they walk back on the highway? Obviously, it was impossible. Therefore, the only way to generate income was to repair the broken cars along the way, but this kind of business was really rare. Most people would test the overall performance of the car before driving on the highway. Moreover, there were very few cars that broke down temporarily. It was estimated that they could only repair the tires and pump the air. Most of the cars had spare tires. Many people could change a broken tire on the road directly. There was no need to immediately fix the tire. Therefore, if they wanted to generate revenue, they could only sprinkle some nails on the road to make passing cars burst tires. More than one tire would burst. Only then would business come to them. Looking at the deserted garage, Zhao Ying and Little Wang clearly thought of the same thing. There was definitely something wrong with this Niu Lao San Auto Repair Center. It was definitely not a proper repair center. Brother Yang. I think the nails on the road were probably done by them. There's no one here to repair the car. If they don't play some tricks, they're going to lose money. Little Wang said. Hee, that's true. Yang Ming nodded. Brother Yang, do you need me? Little Wang was obviously very angry. He was the security manager of Ming Yang Entertainment, but he was set up by a few punks. He was a little unhappy. With Ming Yang Entertainment's means, wasn't it easy to eradicate this small auto repair center? Therefore, Little Wang was waiting for Yang Ming's word. As long as Yang Ming agreed, he would call someone to flatten this place. Forget it. We don't have evidence, and we're in a hurry. Yang Ming shook his head and stopped Little Wang's further action. Anyway, someone is paying now. We don't have to pay. Yang Ming was referring to Fan Jinja. Since this guy took the initiative to pay for the repair fees, why would Yang Ming find trouble with him? Fan Jinja should be the one looking for trouble. Okay. Little Wang had to nod helplessly and gave up the idea of teaching these people a lesson. Yang Ming was right. Since Fan Jinja was paying, what was there to be anxious about? It was just that he was a little unhappy. The trailer stopped in the yard of the repair factory. Skull Vest jumped out of the car and shouted into the repair factory, Little Qian, Puzi, everyone come out and work. After a while, a few young men with dyed red, green, and white hair ran out of the repair factory and came to the side of the trailer. They first threw the tools in their hands on the ground, then drove the car down from the trailer and prepared to work. Bosses, it's hot outside. Why don't you go inside and rest for a while? Skull Vest smiled and said to Yang Ming and Fan Jinja, there is a TV in the room, and there is air conditioning and drinks. Okay, that's great. Fan Jinja immediately nodded and was about to rush inside. Skull Vest saw that Yang Ming and others didn't move, so he asked again, aren't you going in? Then let's go in and have a seat. Yang Ming nodded faintly and walked in. He wanted to see what Fan Jinja was up to. He had suspected that Fan Jinja was in cahoots with the repair factory. However, in Yang Ming's opinion, Fan Jinja shouldn't be so stupid to get them here just to get a tire repair fee. The environment of the lounge was not bad. There was a large sofa and a 50-inch LCD TV. Skull Vest diligently helped them turn on the TV, then pointed to the beverage dispenser next to the sofa and said, there are iced cola and juice over there. If you want to drink, you can take it yourself. There are disposable paper cups below. Okay. We will drink by ourselves. You can go and do your work. Fan Jinja waved his hand casually and said to Skull Vest. Okay. Skull Vest nodded and turned to go out. If there's anything, call me at any time. My name is Xiao Ma. The TV was playing a very old martial arts movie. It looked like it had been around for a long time. There were some unknown movie stars in it. Yang Ming watched it casually, and Zhao Ying also watched it bored. However, Fan Jinja seemed to be enjoying it and couldn't stop grinning. Of course, the reason why Fan Jinja was happy was not because the movie on TV was good, but because of the good thing that was about to happen. Not long after, Skull Vest, Xiao Ma, turned and walked back to the lounge. Bosses, please pay the repair fee first. This is the receipt. Oh, how much? Fan Jinja waved at Xiao Ma and motioned for him to hand over the receipt. Boss, it's very cheap. Only 10,000 yuan. Xiao Ma said with a smile. What? 10,000 yuan? Are you kidding me? 10,000 yuan for a tire repair? Fan Jinja suddenly widened his eyes and stared at Xiao Ma. Did you make a mistake? Did you take someone else's repair receipt? I don't even need 10,000 yuan to buy a tire. I didn't make a mistake. Xiao Ma said with a smile, boss, we clearly marked the price. We are a fast tire repair service. The materials that are fast and easy to use are naturally good. We guarantee that you can run fast and safely on the highway. Chapter 1832. Are you trying to scam me? You can't be so greedy, right? Fan Jinja was angry and widened his eyes. Buying a new tire costs more than 1,000 yuan. Your tire repair material is more expensive than a new tire. The rarer something is, the more valuable it is. Little Ma said faintly, if you don't repair it, then forget it. It doesn't matter. You can find a way to get the car away. You. Fan Jinja pointed at the skull vest. Okay, I admit it. 10,000 yuan it is. I'll pay. Fan Jinja felt that his acting was almost done. It should be very convincing, right? Now his behavior was like an angry customer who was being scammed. Yang Ming and the others should not think that he had anything to do with this shop anymore. As Fan Jinja spoke, he took out his wallet. There was only a total of 10,000 yuan in the wallet. After giving it out, the wallet immediately became empty. Sir, it's not enough. Little Ma took the 10,000 yuan and said. Not enough? Didn't you say 10,000 yuan? Fan Jinja was stunned. He was thinking about how to create a conflict, but he did not expect Little Ma to find trouble first. That was exactly what he wanted. Sir, look at the bill carefully. It's 10,000 yuan for a tire. You broke 4 tires, so you have to pay 40,000 yuan. Little Ma said. 40,000? Damn, why don't you go rob people? Fan Jinja was completely angry this time. He tore the bill in Young Ma's hand into pieces and shouted, do you fucking know who I am? I can tolerate it if you charge me 10,000 yuan, but you want to extort me 40,000 yuan? Do you want to die? Don't you know that Section Chief Li of the Industry and Commerce Bureau is my friend? Do you not want to continue operating this repair factory? Kid, let's talk it over. You don't want to give us face. Do you want to cause trouble? Little Ma smiled coldly, I don't care what relationship you have. If you bid 40,000 yuan here today, nothing will happen to us. Otherwise, don't even think about taking your car away. Oh. I still want to see who dares to stop me from taking my car away. Fan Jinja also sneered, besides, why would I take my car away? My car is right here. I'm going to look for him now. Just wait and see if you can. You can't leave if you don't bid 40,000. Xiao Ma said calmly. Why? Do you still want to blackmail me? Fan Jinja couldn't bear it anymore. He slammed the table. Do you think I'm scared? Not letting me leave? Then let's see who can stop me. Is that so? Xiao Ma clapped his hands casually and said, Boss, someone is causing trouble. As soon as Xiao Ma's voice fell, 5 burly men rushed into the lounge. The leader had a fierce face and was holding a super large wrench in his hand. The others were either holding flat metal hammers or iron rods on jacks. In short, they were all offensive repair tools. Who dares to cause trouble in my territory? Are you tired of living? The fierce-looking leader patted his hand with a large wrench as he scanned the people in the lounge. This. Fan Jinja was also a little dumbfounded. He didn't expect that his words would attract a group of underworld-like characters. He didn't know what to do. I didn't cause trouble. Didn't cause trouble? Niu Zhadong snorted coldly. Xiao Ma, what's the matter? Brother Zhadong, it's like this. This kid called and asked us to go to the tow truck to fix the tire. As a result, we fixed the tire, but this kid was not willing to pay. He thought it was too expensive and didn't want to pay. He even threatened me that he had friends in the Industry and Commerce Bureau and wanted to close down our repair factory. He even wanted to walk out without paying. Xiao Ma explained with exaggeration. Oh. It seems that kid is very badass, right? Isn't that right? Brother Jadon, have been running a repair factory here for 5 years. No one has dared to be so arrogant in front of me. Niu Jadon sneered, kid, I can tell you responsibly. You can't leave today. This. Fan Jinja was obviously a little scared. I'll pay you, okay? Isn't it just 40,000? This big brother, I didn't recognize you. Please don't be offended. I'll pay you now. Pay? It's too late. Niu Jadon ignored Fan Jinja. You humiliated me in my territory. If I let you go like this, won't others laugh at me, Brother Jadon, for being incompetent? This. Brother Jadon, then how can you let us go? Fan Jinja was anxious. Just treat us as farts and let us go. Let them go? Okay. Niu Jadon waved his hand. Go, beat them until they don't even recognize each other. Then, leave all the money on you and send them away. Brother Jadon, don't. Don't hit, please don't hit. Fan Jinja knelt on the ground. Brother Jadon, please don't hit me. Anything else is fine. Tell me, what do you want me to do to let me go? I beg you. Brother Jadon, over there, that girl seems to be pretty. One of the macho men reminded Niu Jadon. Oh. Niu Jadon narrowed his eyes and looked at Zhao Ying. He then nodded, yes, she is indeed pretty. Well, then I will change my method. If you can do it to my satisfaction, I will let you go. What method? Brother Jadon, please tell me. As long as you don't hit us, anything is fine. Fan Jinja nodded quickly. I don't have many hobbies, but I like to watch reality shows. Niu Jadon said, so, you go and perform a reality show with that beautiful girl. If your performance is more exciting and pleases me, I will let you go. If I am not satisfied, I will still beat you until you don't even recognize each other. Ugh, this is not very good, right? Fan Jinja scratched his head and looked troubled. Then, you just wait to be beaten. Go. Niu Jadon waved his hand and said, break 4 legs of the woman and 5 legs of the man. Beat them to death. Don't. Fan Jinja quickly waved his hand to stop. Brother Jadon, I will listen to you. I will listen to you. After speaking, Fan Jinja looked at Zhao Ying with a troubled expression. Zhao Ying, in order to save our lives, let's put up with it. You heard it too. If we don't obey Brother Jadon, he will break all of our legs and definitely kill us. They have so many people and weapons. We are definitely not their opponents. Oh. Why do I have to perform with you? Can't I perform with you? Yang Ming spoke at this moment and asked Fan Jinja. This, of course, you can perform. Fan Jinja was stunned and said immediately, but he looked at Niu Jadon for help. Chapter 1833. No. Who are you? Do you have the right to speak here? Niu Jadon glared at Yang Ming. I like him. He is the one. This gigolo is suitable for acting. I like him. You look too ugly. You don't look like a gigolo. I don't like you. Niu Jadon pointed at Fan Jinja as he spoke. Fan Jinja was a little depressed. How did I become a gigolo? Speaking of gigolos, that Yang Ming has more potential, right? But at this moment, it doesn't matter who is the gigolo. As long as I can kiss Zhao Ying, I don't mind being a gigolo for once. Thinking of this, Fan Jinja looked at Yang Ming reluctantly. Brother, you see, it's not that I don't want to, but Brother Jadon doesn't want to. He said that he likes me. I'm a gigolo. Actually, how am I a gigolo? I think you have more potential to be a gigolo, but Brother Jadon is the boss here. If he says that I'm a gigolo, then I can only be a gigolo. Really? Yang Ming had a playful smile at the corner of his mouth. He finally knew what Fan Jinja was planning. It turned out to be such a despicable idea. He wanted to use Niuzhadan and Niuzhadan's men to pressure them, and then let them do something inappropriate to Zhao Ying smoothly. However, although Fan Jinja's trick was a little childish, Fan Jinja might have succeeded if the person today wasn't me. There was no other reason. Even if an ordinary person could fight, they would not be a match for a group of macho men with iron weapons in their hands. If these people came up together to beat them up, no matter how powerful they were, they would not be able to resist. At that time, in order to save their lives, they would have no choice but to let Zhao Ying and Fan Jinja perform in a reality show. After the matter was over, Fan Jinja could shirk all of his responsibilities. Anyway, Zhao Ying was willing. At that time, he would spread the news and ruin Zhao Ying's reputation, and Zhao Ying could only let him do as he wished. It had to be said that his wishful thinking was quite brilliant. Unfortunately, he had miscalculated one step. This plan should not have involved Yang Ming. Since Yang Ming was involved, this plan was destined to fail. Of course, brother, don't be offended. After Fan Jinja finished speaking, he said to Zhao Ying, you see, we can only do this to save our lives. Don't worry. Even if today's incident is over, I will still be responsible for you. I am an indomitable man. Although this incident was an accident, I will not deny it. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Yang Ming suddenly laughed. His laughter was a little abrupt in this situation. Yang Ming clapped his hands. Not bad, Fan Jinja. You are very talented in acting. Act? What act? What are you talking about? Fan Jinja was stunned for a moment, then said, Yang Ming, don't say those useless things. It is more important to save your life now. If you anger Brother Zhadan, you will not be able to bear the consequences. If you want to die, then die by yourself. Don't harm the rest of us. Heh. Yang Ming looked at Fan Jinja. Since you don't admit that you are acting, then I'm sorry. Zhao Ying will not participate in your performance. If you want to act in a reality show, then act by yourself. Do you want to die? Who are you to speak here? Niuzhadan did not expect Yang Ming to be so arrogant. He even dared to say these words in his own territory. What act? If you don't want to die, then you have to act obediently for me. Sorry, not interested. Yang Ming stood up from the sofa and pulled Zhao Ying's hand. Have you fixed the tires? I'm leaving. Fix your mom. Niuzhadan saw that Yang Ming did not put him in his eyes and immediately became angry. You guys, beat this kid up for me first. Don't touch that girl first. We still need her to act later. Yes, Brother Zhadan. The four macho men behind Niuzhadan responded and approached Yang Ming with a smile. A macho man with an iron rod said, Leave this kid to me. You guys watch. AI, then Old San, you go. I wanted to practice, but this kid is too weak. The other three macho men shook their heads regretfully. Kid, come over here and let me beat you up. Don't look for trouble. Old San waved the iron rod and smashed it at Yang Ming. Bang! There was a loud noise. Ah! There was a scream. Old San covered his head and fell directly to the ground. There was an obvious bloody hole on his forehead. Yang Ming did not hold back at all. He grabbed the iron rod and hit the enemy. Everyone on the scene was dumbfounded. Niuzhadan was dumbfounded, Little Ma was dumbfounded, and the three macho men who did not make a move were dumbfounded. Even Fan Jinja looked at Yang Ming in a daze. No one thought that Yang Ming could actually grab the iron rod in Old San's hand. Before they could see what was going on, Old San fell to the ground with a bloody hole on his forehead. So ruthless. Niuzhadan was stunned. Although he often fought, it was rare to see someone like Yang Ming, who beat someone to death as soon as he made a move. With this hit, Old San would become a vegetable even if he did not die. His head was smashed. Would he still be fine? Kid, aren't you a bit too ruthless? Niu Zhadan was experienced. He did not order his men to continue. Instead, he prepared to explore Yang Ming's details first. He had already felt that Yang Ming was a tough guy. I will ask again. Have you finished patching the tires? Yang Ming did not answer Niu Zhadan's question. Kid, don't be too arrogant. Always leave a way out. Don't think that you are invincible just because you have good skills. Niu Zhadan was very angry. He wanted to say a few words to get Yang Ming's background. However, since Yang Ming did not give him face, there was no need to talk about it. Since Old San was injured, Niu Zhadan would be in vain if he did not leave something behind. Attack together. Don't hold back. Yes. The other three people had long wanted to avenge Old San. Although Old San was not their biological brother, they had been together for many years. They fought together and flirted with girls together. They were closer than biological brothers. Now that someone beat Old San like this, their eyes were already full of hatred. They wanted to tear Yang Ming into pieces. Pung! 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 There were 3 loud sounds. No one saw how Yang Ming did it, but with 3 loud noises, the other 3 burly men were all lying on the ground. Each of them had a bloody hole on their forehead, and one of them had begun to foam at the corner of his mouth. Obviously, he would not survive. You. Niu Zhadan finally knew what fear was. Before, Yang Ming beating Old San could be said to be a fluke. But now, it was definitely not as simple as a fluke. 3 hits from the stick were able to cripple 3 of his men. With this skill, is he an ordinary person? Chapter 1834. Niu Zhadan understood that he had bitten off more than he could chew this time. The person in front of him was not only a tough guy, but he was also tough. What about me? You still want to say that a person should leave a way out, right? Yang Ming looked at Niu Zhadan with a smile. This. Niu Zhadan was a little speechless. He didn't know how to answer. Yeah, if I still say that Yang Ming should leave a way out, isn't that asking for a beating? But if I ask Yang Ming to leave no way out, isn't it obvious that Yang Ming will beat me to the ground? So Niu Zhadan was in a dilemma. It was his first time encountering such a difficult choice. Facing a powerful existence like Yang Ming, he had nothing to say. Brother, I'm sorry. It's a misunderstanding. It's all a misunderstanding. We were just joking. Niu Zhadan was soft. He had to give in. If he didn't give in, he would be beaten even more horribly. Misunderstanding? Why didn't I see it? You just asked someone to beat me to death? Isn't that right? Yang Ming looked at Niu Zhadan and played with the iron rod in his hand. No, it's really a misunderstanding. I was just joking. Yes, it was just a joke. Ha. Niu Zhadan laughed unnaturally. Oh, it seems that you are afraid of me? Yang Ming looked at Niu Zhadan, who was trembling, and asked. Yes, brother, don't hit me. Niu Zhadan's eyes flashed with a hint of pleading. He was also afraid of death. Oh, don't worry. I won't kill you. If I kill you, who will fix my tire? Yang Ming smiled. Don't you think so? Yes. I will fix your tire now. Niu Zhadan nodded hurriedly. You didn't fix your tire before? Then what were you doing? Yang Ming asked with a stern look. This. Niu Zhadan glanced at Fan Jinja. He had received benefits from Fan Jinja, so he naturally didn't want to betray Fan Jinja. Oh, it seems that you don't want to say it? Yang Ming patted the iron rod in his hand. Why don't we play the iron rod game again? It seems to be quite fun. No. Please don't, I beg you. Nyo Jadon shook his head. Although he had a big wrench in his hand, he didn't dare to throw it over. If it was someone else, he would dare to gamble, but facing Yang Ming, he didn't have the courage. None of his 4 brothers were weaker than him, and they also had weapons in their hands. In the end, weren't they beaten to a pulp by Yang Ming? Therefore, Nyo Jadon did not dare to have the slightest disobedience towards Yang Ming. He was afraid that Yang Ming would directly hit him on the head and he would be finished. No? Are you going to tell me or not? Why didn't you fix the tire? What were you doing all this time? Yang Ming shouted. This. All right, I'll tell you. Nyo Jadon was at his wit's end. He could only tell the truth. Previously, we were just fixing the tire. We had been waiting for an opportunity to provoke them. Oh? Why didn't he fix the tire? Why did you provoke them? Yang Ming continued to ask. It's Fan Jinja. It's this kid. He gave me money and asked me to cooperate with him to act. Nyo Jadon threw caution to the wind this time. Although he was suspected of breaking the rules were nothing compared to his life. If he was going to lose his life, what was the use of the rules? No. It's not me. Brother Jadon, don't talk nonsense. It has nothing to do with me. Fan Jinja was also scared. Yang Ming was too ferocious just now. He had been carefully hiding at the side because he didn't want Yang Ming to vent his anger on him. However, Nyo Jadon exposed him, which made Fan Jinja immediately tremble with fear. Yang Ming mercilessly beat Nyo Jadon's 4 men to a pulp. If he were to come and beat me, how can I bear it? Brother Jadon? Why are you calling me that so intimately? He is already in my grasp. You can even call him Idiot Jadon, but you are still trying to please him. If you say it has nothing to do with you, do you think I will believe it? Yang Ming looked at Fan Jinja sarcastically. This. Fan Jinja was stunned and then scolded, yes, don't listen to this idiot Jadon's nonsense. I don't know him at all, and I didn't ask him to do anything. Are you scolding me? Nyo Jadon frowned and was angry. Well, since you are not benevolent, I will not be righteous. Brother, it's this kid. He looked for me before and gave me a sum of money to go to the school to find you, but I didn't succeed at that time. This time, he called me in advance and said that you would pass by this road. He asked me to set a trap for you. The nails on the road were all placed by me in order to lure you all here. Fan Jinja likes that girl and asked me to help him. That's why I said that I like to watch reality shows. In fact, it was all to help him. Nyo Jadon told Fan Jinja's conspiracy in one breath. Hee, not bad. You are quite sensible. Yang Ming smiled and patted Nyo Jadon's face. I am satisfied. Then, brother, can you let me go? Nyo Jadon was happy. That depends on your performance. Yang Ming said faintly. Ugh. Nyo Jadon was stunned and then said, brother, don't worry. I will go and fix the tire immediately. Not only do I not need the tire fixing fee, but I also want to give you a filial gift. I am not talking about this. Yang Ming shook his head. Then, brother, what do you want me to do to let me go? Although Nyo Jadon looked like a rough person, he was not stupid. Yang Ming had not killed him yet, so there must be a way to forgive him. He simply stopped guessing and listened to Yang Ming's instructions. You go and beat that kid up first. Yang Ming pointed at Fan Jinja and said. This, okay. Brother Jadon hesitated and nodded immediately. At this time, he could not care about anything else. As long as he was not killed, everything was fine. Isn't it just teaching Fan Jinja a lesson? He was good at this. Moreover, Fan Jinja had just called him an idiot, so he didn't have to show him any mercy. No, Brother Jadon. Fan Jinja gave in at this time. When he saw Nyo Jadon walking toward him, he was so scared that he almost peed his pants. Didn't you call me an idiot? Humph, then let the idiot beat you up. Nyojadon sneered and waved the wrench in his hand at Fan Jinja. Yang Ming dared to beat people to death, but Nyojadon did not dare. If this matter was exposed, Yang Ming was just defending himself. Nyojadon sent people to cripple Yang Ming first. Even if Yang Ming counterattacked and killed his men, it would be fine. Of course, Nyojadon did not know Yang Ming's special identity. He just judged according to common sense. If he knew that Yang Ming had a special ID in his hand, he would not dare to go against Yang Ming. Chapter 1835. However, Nyojadon was an expert in fighting. He knew where he could kill someone and where he couldn't. Therefore, although Fan Jinja was howling in pain, he didn't suffer any substantial damage. Nyojadon smashed Fan Jinja fiercely. Fan Jinja was crying for his parents. Nyojadon was very familiar with fighting. Brother Jadon, stop hitting me. Since I treated you to a big meal and gave you so much money, stop hitting me. Ah. Fan Jinja cried. He was beaten until his tears were flowing. Yang Ming didn't do anything to Fan Jinja here. Otherwise, with Yang Ming's means, Fan Jinja would become permanently disabled even if he didn't die. However, little Wang was here. Although Yang Ming trusted him, it wasn't to the extent of complete trust. At least, he didn't know some of Yang Ming's secrets, so Yang Ming wouldn't kill in front of him. Yang Ming could injure or even kill Nyojadon's men without any scruples because Yang Ming was just defending himself. However, Fan Jinja was different. Yang Ming wouldn't touch him now, but he could find an opportunity to make him disappear later. This was an easy thing to do. Zhao Ying covered her eyes. She didn't dare to look at such a cruel scene. Fan Jinja was beaten until he cried for his parents. Although Zhao Ying didn't sympathize with him, this scene was a little scary. Little Wang felt refreshed. He finally vented his anger. Brother Yang is so fierce. He defeated 4 people in one move. Not only did their boss not have any complaints, but he also had to be Brother Yang's henchman. Nyojadon was a little bored after beating him for a while. He didn't dare to beat him to death. He could only beat him until he was in pain but not injured. This wasn't very interesting. It was a little boring. Big brother, do you think it's okay now? Oh, okay. You go and fix my tire. Yang Ming waved his hand and said. Okay. I'll go now. Nyojadon nodded. I promise you'll be satisfied. Fan Jinja heaved a sigh of relief. I was almost beaten to death, but they finally stopped. Fan Jinja clenched his fists secretly. Yang Ming, I will remember you. Just you wait, I will ruin your reputation. I will make sure you die a horrible death. Although Fan Jinja hated Yang Ming very much in his heart and wanted to tear him into pieces, he didn't dare to show it on his face. He still looked scared. Wait, you're called Xiaoma, right? Yang Ming saw that Skullvest was about to follow Nyojadon out, so he stopped him. Big brother. Xiaoma was startled. Big brother, is there anything else? Xiaoma had been hiding at the side and didn't dare to show his face. He was afraid that Yang Ming would vent his anger on him. After all, he was the one who started the fight. Now that Yang Ming didn't hold him responsible and let him go, he felt very lucky. He thought that he could escape and sneak out with Brother Jadon to fix the tire, but he realized that it wasn't over yet. Yang Ming still remembered him. Let that Jadon go alone to fix the tire. You go and continue to beat that kid. Yang Ming pointed at Fan Jinja and said. This, okay, no problem. Xiaoma nodded quickly. As long as it wasn't Yang Ming looking for trouble with him, there was no problem. As for beating Fan Jinja, who asked this kid to be so unlucky? He was the one who got beaten. Fan Jinja didn't expect Yang Ming to not let him go until now. Isn't this too bad? Fan Jinja wanted to cry but had no tears. Why? Didn't I just want to have some bad thoughts about Zhao Ying? You don't have to beat me like this, right? However, before Fan Jinja could say anything to complain or beg, he was beaten up violently by Xiao Ma, who rushed over. Although Xiao Ma was thin, which of Niu Zhadan's men didn't know how to fight? Although he wasn't as fierce as Niu Zhadan, it was still very painful. Especially since Fan Jinja was already full of injuries. Even if Xiao Ma didn't hit him very hard, he was still beaten to the point of crying. Fan Jinja didn't even have the strength to howl. He covered his head and let Xiao Ma beat him up. 20 minutes later, Niu Zhadan ran in quickly with a smile. Big brother, your tire is fixed. Oh, how much is it? Yang Ming nodded and asked. It's free. It's free. How can I ask for money? Niu Zhadan shook his head quickly. He took out a red packet from his pocket and handed it to Yang Ming. Big brother, this is your compensation for wasting so much of your time. It's okay. Give it to that guy for his medical fees. Yang Ming waved his hand and didn't accept Niu Zhadan's money. Yang Ming was not short of money at all. He didn't need Niu Zhadan's money. He pointed at Fan Jinja and asked Niu Zhadan to give the money to Fan Jinja. Okay, okay. Niu Zhadan nodded repeatedly. Now, he would do whatever Yang Ming said. He didn't dare to have the slightest objection. Sister Ying, little Wang, let's go. Yang Ming turned around and ignored Niu Zhadan. He held Zhao Ying's hand and walked out of the lounge with little Wang. Only Fan Jinja was left on the ground, looking at Yang Ming with hatred. In the open space of the repair center, the car's tire was not only fixed, but also washed inside and out. It looked very beautiful under the sun. Little Wang opened the door for Yang Ming and Zhao Ying. After Yang Ming and Zhao Ying got in, little Wang got in the car and drove slowly out of the repair center. Fan Jinja was helped up by Niu Zhadan and Xiao Ma. Niu Zhadan said to Fan Jinja helplessly, Brother Fan, I'm sorry. We have no choice. I know. Fan Jinja waved his hand and gritted his teeth. I will blame this on Yang Ming. I will never let him go. Fan Jinja also knew that today's matter couldn't be blamed on Niu Zhadan. He underestimated Yang Ming's strength. This guy is so powerful that he can take down 4 burly men at once. Is he still an ordinary person? Therefore, although Fan Jinja was unhappy, he didn't feel that there was anything wrong. After all, Yang Ming's strength was there. Niu Zhadan beat him up because he wanted to compromise. Brother Fan, listen to me. I think that if this matter can be let go, then let it go. Don't think about looking for trouble. Niu Zhadan persuaded, Brother Yang Ming is not an ordinary person. I am not his opponent. You see, 4 of my men were beaten up and I didn't even think about revenge. I think you should just let it go, right? Humph. Let it go? It's not that easy. Although he can fight, it doesn't matter. I will deal with him from other places. Fan Jinja curled his lips. He would not let Yang Ming go so easily. Then you take care of yourself. This money will be used for your medical expenses. I will also refund the money I took from you before. I won't be involved in this matter anymore. Niu Zhadan was not stupid. Seeing that he couldn't persuade Fan Jinja, he withdrew himself. You're tuning into the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.